Check, 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 check. Chris, you can actually move tonight. You're not. And we're not going to halftime with 5,000 people bumping into me or me having to go like this.
No ladders. That's good.
Yeah, we don't have a work safety incident. Workers' comp claim. 30. Good evening and welcome to Erie's Veteran Memorial Stadium, where tonight the PIAA and District 10 presents this cross-state matchup between the home Erie High Royals and the visiting St. Francis Red Raiders out of Hamburg, New York. Hello again, everyone, and thanks for joining us here on the Erie News Now Game of the Week. This is the Drive to Kickoff presented by Holman Chevrolet. I'm John Leineck alongside Jamie Murphy here tonight. As we get into hard to believe week number 8, just 3 weeks left in the District 10 regular season. For Erie High, though, this is the time where they need to start turning things around and get into shape. Coming into this matchup at 1-6, a couple of close games like a week ago, but they need to start getting ready in a big test here tonight with St. Francis coming to town.
Yeah, they're going to have a tough time with St. Francis. Not impossible. Now 1-6, and I'm not just saying this to try to make the game better. They're not a terrible 1-6, and that may sound odd. There's some teams that they're lucky to get one win by field goal and they get blown out by 100. They lost 4 overtimes to Prep at the start of the season, which now that seems forever ago. They lost by 3 to Hickory, and then last week they lose 21-20 to Oil City. They blow a 14-0 lead. Oil City converts. They get a fake punt. They convert 3 fourth downs, and then Erie fumbles. That should have been a win. So, if there were 4-3 or whatever, they'd still have a tough time with St. Francis. But 1-6, they're better than the record, but they're going to need to play perfectly tonight.
Yeah, and I think another big key factor coming into this one tonight, at times throughout the season, we've seen this defense for Erie High step up and force turnovers. They're going to need a couple of those tonight, because the big factor with St. Francis coming to town, and Prep Ramblers fans can attest to this, the St. Francis team knows how to run the football.
They have 7 guys who touch the ball every game, and so that's what we're going to see tonight. The quarterback can run, and he's a solid quarterback too, as far as throwing the ball 143 yards last week, but he also has run for 200 yards over the season. They utilize 3 running backs. Their wide receivers, they're all involved. So they have a lot of weapons on offense, and they score a ton of points. They put up over 35 in every game except one. They put up 300 yards rushing on Prep, and Prep's had a hard time this year stopping the run. And they're ranked the number 10 team in the state by the New York Writers. So state rankings I think are kind of overvalued, but still that means that they're a good football team. So you never know what can happen, but St. Francis has a deep enough team that they don't rely on 1 or 2 guys. They have a lot of weapons.
Yeah, speaking of setting the stage, you mentioned a week ago for Erie High, they lost 21-20 here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Meanwhile, for St. Francis, who comes in at 4-1 on the year, they beat St. Joseph Collegiate Institute 35-0. You date back to that Cathedral Prep game, 49-22 was the score for St. Francis. They'll play McDowell coming up in a couple of weeks as well. But in that game, Trent Buttles, the quarterback, 15 of 22 for 198, 2 touchdowns. Clark Jr. ran for 144 yards and 2 scores. Cook Jr., 2 touchdowns as well. And you mentioned plus 300 in the rushing department. As we get set here tonight for Erie High offensively, it seems like it's going to start with Paul Johnson. He is a very athletic. Him and Shaid Smith, 2 of the big premier guys that Coach Andre Henderson will turn to tonight.
Yeah, Henderson has had majority of the big plays. He's very difficult to stop in the run. They're going to have a hard time because some of the size of the defensive linemen at St. Francis will be tough to stop to create the blocking lanes. But he can break it out, and if he can stretch this defense out side to side and get down the sidelines, then he can make a difference, and he can throw the ball too. So it's just tough whenever it's centered maybe on I'm not going to say he's the only player, but they need to spread it out and utilize more of their tools to keep St. Francis on their toes.
We're going to take our first time out here in the drive to kickoff presented by Hallman Chevrolet. When we return, we'll hear from the head coach of the Royals, Andre Henderson, about the big keys tonight and how this evening's game against a tough St. Francis team can set the stage for that 6A matchup coming up in a couple of weeks against McDowell for the district title. Back here in a moment as we continue on the drive to kickoff here on the Erie News Now Game of the Week. Welcome back at the drive to kickoff presented by Hallman Chevrolet. Erie High St. Francis. The matchup will bring you here tonight from Erie's Veteran Memorial Stadium. Jamie Murphy alongside, I'm John Laddick alongside Jamie Murphy, I should say. Head coach Andre Henderson's club comes in here at 1-6, but as Jamie mentioned at the top of our broadcast, maybe a deceiving record as they get set for this big matchup tonight against St. Francis. How do they put four quarters together and also prepare for a big game coming up in the district title game just a few weeks away? Here's the Royals head coach on tonight's matchup. And we hope to hear from Coach Henderson here in just a little bit as we continue along on the drive to kickoff. For now, it's going to be a good night here. Not too cold there, Jamie, and we'll see if the Royals, the big thing I think is they've got to control the clock, much like we saw maybe at times a week ago for a McDowell team that got the run game going.
Yeah, and also the coach, part of the conversation might have been also don't get overwhelmed. If St. Francis gets the ball and goes down the field, don't try to do everything yourself. There's a long game ahead. This is why they play the games. Anyone can win. Yes, St. Francis is heavily favored, but you force those turnovers, get some doubt into St. Francis' head, maybe you can get some momentum.
All right, let's head down to the field. The Erie High Marching Band is currently playing for the pregame show. Let's take a listen here as we continue to count you down to kickoff here on the Drive to Kickoff presented by Hallman Chevrolet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Mic check.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, a whistleblower claims he was fired after uncovering a major cybersecurity threat in Marquette County. We'll have the latest on the lawsuit he's filing. Plus, the government shutdown is causing major delays at airports nationwide, with some flights even grounded. And we have more details on the record-breaking $24 billion education budget in Michigan. Your 19 News at 6 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 6.
Kelly, good evening. It was a beautiful evening, but those clouds have started to roll in.
Yeah, good evening, Kevin, and it is Friday. We made it to the weekend. There are some increasing clouds, though. We are dealing with very isolated and scattered showers at this moment, but we remain dry into Marquette, not looking too bad. People still out and about enjoying this Friday evening on our sky cam. This is a look at the current shower situation. Most of it is contained out to the eastern half of the Upper Peninsula, kind of just clipping this tail end of this low pressure system. So we can't rule out a few more of these showers through the evenings, but temperatures right now mid 50s, upper 60s, still very comfortable and not too bad of a night too. Increasing cloud cover continues, temperatures dipping down to the 50s, but I'll update you on the and a look into next week in just a few minutes.
Sounds good, Kelly. Thank you. A whistleblower has filed a lawsuit with Marquette County over claims of wrongful termination after reports of a cybersecurity concern within the administration. Carly had worked as an information systems manager with Marquette County for 13 years. A summons was filed Monday stating in works with the company Carhu Cybersecurity this July, the county underwent an annual state audit of its information systems. On July 7th, the network began receiving intrusion detection alarms before Carly discovered a mini personalized computer running on an unauthorized program known as Kali Linux, plugged into the network, hidden behind a copier with a KCS logo attached. This program was performing a brute force attack on the network, attempting to gain access. Carly reported what he found to his human resources officer, who said the county board had greenlit the device, but no authorization was given by its IT department. Weeks later, in August, Carly was put on administrative leave and now seeks a trial against the county. 19 News will stay up to date as this story develops. It's now been 10 days since the government shut down, and still there's no end in sight. Excuse me. Democrats won't budge unless there's an agreement on additional health care policies, and Speaker Mike Johnson canceled votes next week in the House to apply more pressure on the Senate. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp shares the latest.
After another week of failing to reach an agreement to reopen the government, the Senate will pick things back up when they return on Tuesday.
We've lost all sense of common sense. I mean, we're in the middle of the Schumer shutdown.
Senator Dave McCormick says regardless of which party is in power, it doesn't make sense to shut down the government.
I think it's bad policy. I think it's bad for the American people and bad for those federal workers that aren't receiving a paycheck and those military service members who are putting their life on the line and who aren't going to get a pay beginning on October 15th.
House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries says the White House is not negotiating with Democrats to reach a deal.
Our men and women in uniform and hardworking federal employees are working without pay. Donald Trump can find the time to play golf, but he can't be bothered negotiating a bipartisan agreement to reopen the government and address the health care crisis that they've created.
There's been some talk on the Hill about Speaker Johnson bringing back the House in session to pass a standalone bill to pay service members. But going into next week, the House will still be out of session. Johnson hopes to use this as pressure on Senate Democrats to pass the short-term continuing resolution. As the shutdown is set to continue into next week, we asked Representative Jack Bergman about the blame game being played in Washington.
Well, was the arguing in middle school really constructive? It was hormonally driven when you were 14 years old. Unfortunately, some of that middle school-like activity is occurring right now because, you know, not to be Democrat versus Republican, but Republicans in the House did our job. We're just kind of sitting here in the House saying, well, Senate, do your job and reopen the government.
At the Capitol, Rachel Knapp, WZMQ 19 News.
With the shutdown in its 10th day, Americans taking to the skies are feeling it. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon is now live with more details on how the shutdown is creating turbulence for travelers. Brendan, good evening.
Hey there, Kevin. Good evening to you. Well, from delays at major hubs to potential impacts at smaller airports, the effects of this 10-day shutdown are starting to ripple across the entire aviation system. At some of the nation's busiest airports, the slowdown is real. A shortage of air traffic controllers is forcing the Federal Aviation Administration to reduce operations. This week alone, Chicago O'Hare International Airport ran short-staffed for more than 9 hours. The FAA even issued a ground stop for flights heading to Nashville International Airport due to a lack of controllers. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says more workers are calling out sick as the shutdown drags on.
I think you're seeing two pieces to this. One is on the ATC side, air traffic control, but then you're also going to see on the security side, TSA, in terms of screening. They're not getting paychecks, but they are still required to show up for work, etc. The longer this goes, I think you're going to start seeing more folks that are either calling in sick or taking vacation days, and that's going to have an impact on scheduling and coverage.
And it's not just the big hubs feeling the turbulence. Delays at major airports trickle down through the entire system, affecting flights headed to smaller regional airports.
So a flight that's delayed coming out of Reagan, for example, that's going going to a regional airport, it's going to impact then whether it's an on-time arrival and or then subsequent departure.
This week, at least 6 air traffic control facilities were working with reduced staffing, including towers in Denver, Newark, and Orlando.
Safety is not going to be compromised by a shutdown.
Congressman Jack Bergman was a commercial airline pilot for over 2 decades. He says flying during the shutdown is safe. It might just cause a headache.
If there's a slowdown in departures and arrivals, it'll be because safety is number one, and the air traffic control system, as it's currently configured, is limited.
And Kevin, we did reach out to Marquette Sawyer Regional Airport. Officials from the airport told WZMQ 19 News that there have been no disruptions and that day-to-day operations remain normal. However, airline and aviation experts and analysts say that if this shutdown continues, there could be even more delays and perhaps fewer flights, especially at some of those larger airports that have to accommodate a very high volume of traffic. Reporting live on Capitol Hill for WZMQ 19 News, I'm Brendan Scanlon. Kevin, back to you.
Brendan, thank you very much as always. Legislators are calling the state's new education budget one of the largest school investments in state history, but it's pulling mixed reactions from school groups. The $24 billion plan raises per pupil funding, expands free pre-K programs, and keeps breakfast and lunch free for all students. However, the Michigan Education Association is raising concerns about long-term funding issues created when school aid dollars are redirected to higher education and other programs. Still, they're calling the budget an overall win for teachers and students.
Despite challenges in our classrooms, despite with challenges with understaffing and other issues within our schools, there is broad agreement that funding for schools needs to remain a priority.
We'll have more about the plan tonight at 11:10 Central. Your first warning weather forecast is after the break. Kelly lets us know if the players might feel some raindrops for tonight's high school football games. And later, the Uper Goddess returns to tell us about a home remedy she says has a number of uses. We're back in 2 minutes.
To a shrink, it feels like we're admitting something's wrong with him.
He hasn't had solid food in 5 weeks.
Well, if there is something wrong with him, it ain't constipation.
Okay, let's see if we can find somebody.
Thank you.
But just too much behind that one, and Erie High will come up empty on that opening possession with 8:56 to play here in the first quarter of action from Veterans Memorial Stadium. So we'll get set to send this one away as this punt. Some pressure coming, but gets away here as this will be taken. And quick punt coverage, but spun away and still working here. As St. Francis trying to get across the 50. It's Aiden Hopwood still running down around the 30 as he pushes his way inside to about the Erie High 26. So great start for the St. Francis Red Raiders here with 8:09 to play in the first quarter and the first Red Raiders possession.
Amir Hansbrough had a chance to get his man, and it's tough. And your momentum's taking you all the way downfield. There's a flag on the play. So I'm not sure if there was an illegal block on the way back. It's tough when you have all the momentum to come down and try to make a play. And it's not a bad form tackle by him. It's just tough to do, and so he couldn't get him in the backfield. So so this will come back a little bit. I think they'll mark it from the spot of the foul, so they're not going to get as good field position. But St. Francis, a good scheme of blocking there to prevent what we see a lot of times when players run from right to left or from side to side. That's when we get, and we did get a hold, but we get a lot of blocks in the back because everyone's changing their perspective. So unfortunately, they did commit one there, but otherwise good blocking.
So we'll see where they place the ball, as I think the penalty is going to go on Erie.
So he indicated St. Francis.
Or they're going to mark it down to the 26. But everybody.
And that's what the Erie coaches are yelling at him about. He pointed to St. Francis for a hold. I'm not sure how there could be a hold.
So it's a 10-yard penalty on Erie High.
So it must have been when they were rushing the punter. But the flag was way back up at the 42.
So just 16 yards is all that St. Francis will need, as Trent Buttles, the quarterback, will start the opening possession for the Red Raiders. He has Dominic Cook Jr., and that's where the ball goes. The opening handoff here as he cuts back across the field, still working, makes another cut to the 10, 5, cuts inside, still rushing the legs, and he is going to be stopped right around the 2-yard line for a pickup of 14.
He ran 65 yards on that play, and good hard work by the running back, Dominic Cook, who had 69 yards on 9 carries and a touchdown last week, and he is their feature back, although they had 2 run.
Yeah, Tyron Clark Jr., the other. Cook faked the handoff and a wide open receiver there. That time is coming up. Mason Anderson with his 5th touchdown, a 2-yard pass from Buttles, and a quick score on just 2 plays for St. Francis.
Mason Anderson's 5th touchdown of the year. Just 1 catch last week, but like we talked about, you're going to hear 5 or 6 different names that get the ball, with Dominic Cook and Tyron Clark both carrying almost even amount and putting up large numbers this year. And Mason Anderson, probably I'd call him the 3rd receiver, maybe. So a good job, and that was a nice, easy pitch and catch.
So some confusion for the St. Francis special teams unit as they're a guy short here. As they'll get set, it'll be Jacob Janis. He's 10 of 15 on point after attempts on the year. Snap is down, pressure, but the kick is up and good, and a 7-0 lead for St. Francis. Less than 4 minutes into this one. We'll be back in a moment on the Erie News Now Game of the Week.
At 10-2 Credit Union, we tend to your home remodeling dreams with low rates on home improvement loans. We tend to making upgrades easier, so you can tend to the home you've always wanted. Tend to low rates, tend to big changes. Tend to your dream home today. Low rates, big dreams. 10-2 Credit Union.
Thinking of selling but feeling stressed and just don't know where to begin? As Erie's senior care expert, I can make selling your home a little less stressful by personally assisting you from beginning to end. I will be there personally every step of the way. Beat your competition and list now while the housing inventory is low and the seller's market is still hot. Call D. Caruana and Associates today and put my one-of-a-kind multimedia marketing plan to work for you. Your home could be the next one on our sold list.
At 10-2 Credit Union, we tend to make becoming a member easy. Walk in, sign up, and start saving. We tend to your needs with lower rates, fewer fees, and personalized service. 10 to joining, 10 to thriving, 10 to enjoying the benefits today. Easy to join, built for you. 10-2 Credit Union.
Welcome back to the Erie News Now Game of the Week from Erie Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's already 7-0 St. Francis over Erie High, and needing just 26 seconds was St. Francis as they had to go just 16 yards. It was the Dominic Cook Jr. 14-yard run before Trent Buttles, the 2-yard touchdown pass to Mason Anderson, the 5th combination between those two on the year, and that's where we stand here with 8:13 to go in the opening quarter of play. Jacob Janis will get set to send this one away for the second time as it's Henry going to take this one back around his own 10. He's going to pitch it back now as this one taken and quickly met in a wall that time with Shaid Smith not going anywhere. So one official marking out around the 20, another all the way back at the 17. So
I don't see that big of a difference.
yeah. And they will mark it down at the 17. So that's where Erie High will begin its second possession.
You know, we saw some positive things on the Erie drive, got out almost to midfield, but the 2 fumbles, 3 fumbles I think they had total in that first drive, just disastrous, and that's what plagued them all season is the fumbles and the turnovers, and they've been in games. This is going to get away from them very quickly if they can't hold on to the ball.
And the big thing, too, is they were 0 for 2 in the passing game on that opening possession, so they'll look to get the air attack going here with Paul Johnson working out of the shotgun. The pitch here as cutting up there that time is Shaid Smith, but he is met quickly right back at the line of scrimmage. They'll give him no gain.
Yeah, he took a shot to the face, too. Not a penalty. Didn't pull the face mask. He's talking to the ref, but really that's not a penalty to make the play, but I'm sure it doesn't particularly feel well. So again, just trying to get the confidence. You can even see some of the body language already is starting to look negative for Erie, just because going into this maybe a certain mindset, but you know they have the athletic ability to move this ball down the field.
So we'll see Paul Johnson on 2nd and 10 work out of the shotgun. Smith, the back that he'll hand off to here, that tries to go up the middle, and again nowhere to go for Smith as he's going to be dropped for a loss here, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 10 plus.
Loren Thompson, the nose tackle, along with Damon McGreer, just clogging that middle. Thompson, 5'10", 230. Looks a lot bigger than that, but that's what he's listed at. And Romello Dunn, who's a backup lineman, at 6'3", 330. He's not in the game right now, but so it's tough. It's tough to get any run room inside.
So Johnson once again here on a 3rd and very long 11 from his own 16-yard line. He'll work with 4 wide receivers, 3 split out to the far side. And next to him is Natavion Tennant in the backfield, the sidecar to the left. Johnson, as whistles blow this play dead.
Let's delay a game. It was at 0 for a good 3 or 4 seconds.
So the second penalty for the Royals here tonight. As each team with a penalty so far in this one, the opening one for St. Francis coming on the kickoff. So make it from 3rd and 11 to 3rd and 16 here now for a second consecutive possession. The Royals will face a 3rd and 15 plus.
You might want to maybe a screen pass or something, a safe pass where you can get some blocks downfield, because the risk of the turnover so deep in your own zone.
Johnson out of the shotgun will drop, 5-step drop. He looks for that screen pass, but a great coverage, and Johnson just has to throw this one away. And the Royals punt team will come on once again. It's a great job diagnosing that from the St. Francis defense.
And so we had 3 wideouts on the left side, but as soon as he was pressured out of the pocket, they're out of the picture. There's no way any quarterback, no matter how good you are, can throw across his body across the field. So that it was just one guy he could go to, and everyone knew it. So the one thing I noticed on their punter stands very close to the line of scrimmage, and that was almost blocked last time. So he's typically, it's 15. He's only 10 yards behind the center.
Natavion Tennant, the punter back here, and St. Francis will deploy Aiden Hopwood and Dominic Cook Jr. at the return. They're standing at the Erie High 47. So 6:06 to go here in the first quarter of play, and Erie High will give the ball back to the St. Francis offense, trailing 7-0. As Tennant gets the pretty good one away, but he's going to need a favorable bounce. He gets partially, but it only gets out to about the 43. So for a second consecutive possession, St. Francis will start on the Erie High side of the 50.
So a 33-yard punt. And now, it doesn't help St. Francis, 2 extremely short fields. And they get another great field position here. So, again, it's just about confidence, a mental approach to try to maybe get a stop, get the ball back, and get some of this momentum back. It's a tall task against these Red Raiders.
So we will see Trent Buttles come out here to direct this offense again. Just needed a 2-yard touchdown pass, and it was Dominic Cook Jr. setting the stage with that 14-yard run. Again, they only had to go 16 yards for that opening touchdown. Buttles will work out of the shotgun with two receivers to the far side. He motions Cook. Takes the snap and the handoff. We'll go to the other big back here, and that is Tyron Clark Jr., who works his way down from the 43 down to the 30. They'll get him down to the 35 for a pickup of 8.
And Clark, 106 yards and 2 touchdowns last week, is one of the Erie High players. Is getting up slowly. That's Amir Hansbrough, who is a big part of their offense and defense. They blew the whistle, but they're not going to make him come out. I think he has to come out.
Yeah.
Flexing that right arm. He doesn't want to come out, but and now there's another player. It's a separate player who's down.
So
looks like Chad Duck.
Yeah. Looks like upper body as he's trying to stretch out that injury here. As we have 5:45 to go here in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, already a 7-0 lead for St. Francis, who has the ball on its second possession. They needed just 2 plays and 26 seconds on their first possession to go 16 yards for that first score. So it looks like both injured Royals will make their way to the sidelines as we'll get set here to continue the drive. It'll be a 2nd and 2 for St. Francis here from the Erie High 35-yard line. Buttles will take Tyron Clark Jr., the sidecar to his right. 2 receivers split out to the far side. And the play action pass over the middle as that one, great defense there and batted down as it was intended that time. Looking to find his man, not to be, for Trent Buttles.
Shaheed Smith, great play. That's just, he had the inside track on a good, not really a post pattern, but a deep slant, and Smith came through with that right hand and batted away. Great defensive play.
That was Sam Skolsky that was the intended receiver, I believe, on the far side. So 3rd and 2 now for St. Francis. As the handoff goes to Cook Jr., he spins his way ahead as he gets 3, and that's enough for a first down.
So Cook and Clark, the 2 feature backs, combined for almost 200 yards from scrimmage last week in the 35-0 win. So they're 2 very dangerous running backs. I mean, just to see them run, they run really like older college players, the way they're built and the way they run. So it's a shame because Erie won those last 2 plays defensively, but it's still a first down.
Buttles takes the shotgun snap and rolls to his right. He's looking downfield for Anderson, who has the catch at the 20 and falls down. That'll be a pickup for a first down.
Buttles, good throw on the run. Not easy to throw on the run. And that wasn't bad coverage. Smith was there, but it's a throw that was tough to defend off close to the turf. And there we go. They're running fast, trying to get Erie to be tired.
So Buttles out of the shotgun, sidecar Cook, and that's where the read option goes as he goes right up the middle from the 20, works down to about the 15 for a pickup of 5.
So a decent job by the defensive line to keep him from breaking out. Now, St. Francis has 2 guys on an island, or 1 guy on an island here on the near side that looks like he's running a post into the end zone, and there was no one back there, so Erie's got to be careful.
Clark Jr. will now check into the game for Cook. He's the sidecar to the right of Buttles. Tight formation, and we'll have a whistle that stops action here. The referees need to sort some things out here. It would be 2nd and 5, but referees having a discussion right around the 20. So we'll reset the play clock to 25 as things seem to be sorted out here, and working out of the shotgun again is Buttles with a tight formation. And the read option once again is Clark continues to work his way, muscle his way down from the 15 all the way down to the 5. For a pickup of 10.
Some of the Red Raiders feel that a little bit unnecessary roughness there on a couple of the last plays, but really I think it's more momentum. I didn't see any intent there. And they're just such, Cook and Clark are so strong, and hard runners are hard to bring down.
Couple of Division I offers for Cook, but right now on 3, the recruiting service has him as a heavy Syracuse lean. The athlete, Mason Anderson, also has interest from Syracuse, Toledo, Temple, and the University of Texas, San Antonio. So a couple of big playmakers as Clark just weaves his way in for the 5-yard score.
Yeah, such a tough player to bring down. Good shifty too for how stocky he is. He's thick, he's muscular. That's just a tough ask, and the more, the less that offense is on the field, Erie's going to get real tired real quick on defense.
So a 13-0 lead with Jacob Janis awaiting the extra point here. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns on 2 short fields for St. Francis and the Red Raiders. The snap for the extra point attempt. It is down. Erie gets some pressure, but the kick is up and good, and a 14-0 lead for St. Francis over Erie High. Back in a moment on the Erie News Now Game of the Week.
At Nova Cabinets Countertops.
The fall leaves are beautiful until they clog your
At Nova Cabinets Countertops and Floors, we specialize in cabinets, countertops, and floors that redefine luxury and durability. Imagine opening your cabinets to find organized bliss with every item in its place. Picture preparing meals on stunning granite or quartz countertops that are as resilient as they are beautiful. And let's not forget the floors. We have an extensive range of flooring options to complement any aesthetic. Visit our showroom or call us today. Nova Cabinets, Countertops, and Floors, your partner in creating the home of your dreams.
The fall leaves are beautiful until they clog your gutters. With Leon Construction's gutter protection, say goodbye to the messy cleanups and stay off your ladder for good. Our expertly installed systems keep debris out and water flowing, protecting your home all season long. Get ready for fall and call today or visit us at leoncep.com and never clean your gutters again. Leon Construction, the king of quality.
All right, welcome back to Erie Veterans Memorial Stadium. While we have a moment before the next kickoff, we want to thank the Erie School District for allowing us to bring this game to you here between St. Francis and the Erie High Royals. Thank you so much to the many schools that have allowed us to come on to their campuses and bring these games to you wherever you may be watching, out of town, in your living room, kitchen, fan cave. John Laddick alongside Jamie Murphy, so happy to be able to bring these Friday nights to you and be able to watch some of the premier games around District 10. So 14-0 lead for St. Francis, who was 2 for 2 on its 2 possessions here tonight. The Royals going to need an answer here before falling into too deep of a deficit to try and come back. A week ago, they built a 14-0 lead. They now trail by 2 scores here tonight.
And there was a personal foul against Erie for roughing the kicker on the extra point. And that was sold by the kicker. He wasn't really hit, but he threw himself down. It's good heads-up play. Honestly, it doesn't affect the game too much, just kicking into the end zone. So a good benefit there, but it's not going to make a huge difference.
As the kickoff sails through the end zone, so that means Erie High will get its 3rd possession started from its own 20-yard line. Week 8, as we mentioned, of the high school football season. Some good games going on tonight. Fairview traveling to Corey. Fort LaBeouf playing host to the Harbor Creek Huskies here tonight. Mercyhurst Prep and Iroquois also battling up at Mercyhurst University tonight, among many other games that we'll hope to bring you some score updates as the night progresses along here. 3:25 to go in the first quarter as we start possession number 3 for the Erie Royals. And a new quarterback in is Jack Masson as he hands off to Tavion Tenen. And he is met quickly at the line of scrimmage. He'll just get back there for no gain.
So Masson does get a good amount of playing time at the quarterback position. He's pretty versatile. He's a sophomore where Johnson is a senior. I don't know if Johnson he is on the sideline.
Yeah, he's walking along the sideline, so maybe a change of pace as Masson has seen time the last couple of weeks between Franklin and then a week ago against Oil City, so he's no stranger to playing time as he'll take over on the 3rd possession for Erie High. Also in the backfield, Nijon Young is the running back behind Masson, and Young will take the handoff here as he tries to force his way forward, gets about a yard before he is stopped by the Red Raiders defense.
So I'm kind of surprised because Paul Johnson's such a great athlete. You'd want to maybe have him in there as a wideout or running back. So hopefully he's kind of squatting down right now. So hopefully he's not banged up.
Again, And a number of these Royal players being asked to play both ways for Coach Andre Henderson.
It looks like he's trying to stretch something out there on the sideline.
So they give maybe a yard here that'll bring up a 3rd and 9 for the Royals. And again, this is, you don't want to call it a huge play early on, but boy, if they're forced to punt again and give it back to this Red Raiders offense, they're going to put themselves in a world of hurt. So Masson working out of the shotgun. He'll take the quick drop, feels the pressure, tries to buy time rolling to the right, but no one is open. He'll just have to throw to the sidelines, but a late hit. And a flag flies here, so we'll await the penalty call, but Erie could be bailed out.
Yeah, it wasn't a terrible hit, but he didn't need to push him there, and that could lead to a head off of the turf. So not an egregious hit really. It's a football play, but he's not going to complete that pass. There's no reason to push him.
So now to move the ball out to the 35 and a fresh set of downs for the Royals, and boy, just some room to breathe and a positive movement forward, however you can get it for Erie High right now, is a good sign.
I'm kind of surprised they're not, maybe it's not there, trying to run to the outside because of the differential, the defensive lineman of St. Francis, there's just nothing up the middle. They maybe try to move it, spread out the offense a little bit.
Yeah, maybe some misdirection runs. Again, they've tried the read option as Paul Johnson back in now after a couple of snaps from Masson. Appears to be okay as he takes the drop. Quick pass off here, and that one is caught, but spun and dropped for about a 1-yard loss there that time as Erie High on offense. As that time trying to find a number on that one, but it's going to be a 1-yard loss for Paul Johnson.
And that's just a great defense because Johnson wanted to release that ball a half second quicker. It's got to come out quicker than that to get that side screen in. It just wasn't there. There was something that maybe the right end was in the way. So good defense again. Red Raiders are just not letting Erie have anything.
So that was Adlin Gilmore on the reception for a loss of 1. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. First completion for Johnson on the night as they're trying to get organized for Erie High as the clock ticks to 0, and that'll be a delay of game for 5 yards. 4th Erie High penalty so far here in the opening quarter.
And multiple delay of game penalties. It just drives the coaches crazy. You could hear them yelling. And the back judge gave them an extra second or two again.
Yeah, usually if you got you're right up against it, they'll give you about 1.5 to try and get that off in the benefit of the doubt here. But nonetheless, that'll bring up a 2nd and about 15 at the Erie High 30-yard line. Trips set to the near side here is Johnson. The read option, pressure coming. He's going to throw to the sideline, but boy, hit hard quickly there that time as the pass out to Justin Parker goes nowhere, and he's dropped for another 3-yard loss.
And Caden Wright, 5'11" junior. He's only listed at 150. He looks bigger than that, but he was just coming like a freight train there, and there was just nothing he could do. I mean, he was just dead to rights there, and that's just St. Francis brought the linebacker blitz on that play and forced them to go to the outside.
And that will end quarter number 1 here from Veterans Memorial Stadium with the score St. Francis 14, Erie High 0. We'll be back in just a moment with quarter number 2. You are watching the Erie News Now Game of the Week.
At Orthopedic Associates of Meadville, our growing team of surgeons utilize cutting-edge, patient-centered procedures and treatments to get you active and healthy again. From high-quality personalized care to state-of-the-art injury treatment and prevention, the choice has been clear for over 50 years. The largest, most skillful team of orthopedic specialists in Crawford County, delivering orthopedic care that you and your family depend on, right here, close to home.
And that's where they mark it. This will be the first time that St. Francis will start on its side of the field to open an offensive possession.
Yeah, they haven't really. I mean, they're balanced. I mean, they do everything. They're not a lopsided type of team, with putting up 181 passing yards a game and 234 rushing. It's above average for a high school team overall. 54% completion rate on the season for Buttles. So they've set up the run and pass. They have two, maybe at least one Division I running back. So this is a tough task for Erie.
So from the 46, it'll be Tuttles going empty here to begin the third possession for the Red Raiders. He looks for a quick pass. That's going to be caught across the 50. Still working, but comes back as the ball hits the ground, but recovered. So all that work going to end up in about a 3-yard completion, as that time it was Kenny Litzinger on the reception.
And a good job by the Erie linebackers, Nijon Young, Chad Duck. Not sure who stripped that ball, but that's what happens when you try to stay up and get that extra yard. They're going for the strip. Very strong players out there, so St. Francis getting a break on that one.
Just 2 on the reception after it appeared he was going to get across midfield for maybe 5. But nonetheless, a 2nd and 8. As Tuttles works out of the shotgun formation with 2 wide. The handoff goes up the middle to Clark Jr. He gets loose and he's still running. He's across the 50, down to the 30 before he is pushed out around the 27-yard line. As that'll be a pickup of 25 on the run.
9 times out of 10, this is a 3-yard run. But Tyron Clark made a move right in the middle of the field that very few high school players can do. He popped both feet up and to his left. That is an impressive move from a 3-yard gain, a typical high school player, to 30. That's what makes a difference between high school and college players.
So they give him 24 officially here. He has 47 yards on 4 carries already for Clark Jr. They're showing how dangerous this run game can be. Tuttle's working out of the shotgun formation. Clark Jr., the sidecar to his right. They motion Cook Jr. And the play action pass looking deep towards the end zone, as some contact there. And they will throw the flag, as that time it was Buttles. Excuse me, not Tuttles, Buttles was looking downfield for the receiver, couldn't come up with it. That time he was looking for Matthew Zelensky.
You know, a lot of times they do let that go because they get their feet tangled up. The referee or the back judge didn't see it that way. Typically they don't call that interference.
So after the penalty, that'll move the ball all the way down to the 11. So St. Francis continues to march here as just their 3rd play upcoming, or excuse me, 4th play on this drive. So it is Trent Buttles, quarterback for St. Francis. Work out of the shotgun formation with Cook Jr., the sidecar to his right. Man in motion is Zelensky there along the line. Send another man in motion this time for St. Francis, as it's Hopwood in motion, but the handoff goes to Cook as he tries the left side of the line. He's going to work inside the 10 down to about the 9 for a pickup of 2.
A little bit surprised they haven't needed to do that, but Mason Anderson, a 6'1" sophomore, is isolated on the near side. They have two receivers with man coverage that I'm surprised they're not going to, because there's a size advantage on the wide receiver side for St. Francis that if they throw a 50-50 ball, they have a very good chance of scoring. So it's not to say that they don't have weapons in their running backs. It's not that like they're doing the wrong thing, but they have isolated coverage.
So it'll be a 2nd and 8 from the 9 as Buttles hands it off on the play action fake, and wide open there, and just walking in for the score is none other than the aforementioned Anderson on the touchdown for 9 yards.
Anderson, 10 catches coming into tonight for 184 yards and 4 touchdowns. And that's just a quick slant, and there was nobody there. The linebackers had committed to the run. There was no other defensive backs there, and that's an easy pitch and catch.
So that'll bring on Piers Jacob Janis for the extra point attempt. He is 2 for 2 tonight. Put him on the season at 12 of 17. A 20-0 lead here with 9:01 to go in quarter number 2. As they set things up here for the point after attempt. The snap, the fake on this one, and the toss for 2 as it's caught there that time by Matt Zelensky for the 2-point conversion. So the score, 22-0, St. Francis over Erie High. We are back in a moment here on the Erie News Now Game of the Week.
At Nova Cabinets, Countertops, and Floors, we specialize in cabinets, countertops, and floors that redefine luxury and durability. Imagine opening your cabinets to find organized bliss with every item in its place. Picture preparing meals on stunning granite or quartz countertops that are as resilient as they are beautiful. And let's not forget the floors. We have an extensive range of flooring options to complement any aesthetic. Visit our showroom or call us today. Nova Cabinets, Countertops, and Floors, your partner in creating the home of your dreams.
Climbing ladders to clean your gutters? That's risky business. Leon Construction's gutter protection keeps leaves and debris out so you never have to climb a ladder again. Our lifetime solutions prevent clogs and protect your home from water damage. Stay safe this fall season with Leon Construction. Call today or visit us at leoncep.com and never clean your gutters again. Leon Construction, the king of quality.
Welcome back to the Erie News Now Game of the Week. 3 for 3 on touchdown drives are the St. Francis Red Raiders here, who lead 22-0 after the 2-point conversion is good. That was Landon Govan tossing things off that time to Matthew Zelensky for the 2-point conversion. Janis will get set to kick this one away. As a quick little kick there is taken around the 25, still working. As the ball loose, and the ball is on the ground. St. Francis believes they have it. As still a fight for the ball. No indication given yet. As it appears Erie High holds on to it. They're out to the 41-yard line.
Wow. That would have been further insult fumbling. That's kind of a curious call to fake an extra point. You don't see a lot of faked extra point. You just go for 2, especially in the game that, realistically is not going to be close. Just curious.
Some of the offensive play callers sometimes want to see how that play works in game action, I guess. And, but yeah, an interesting
safe time to call it. When,
yeah.
I guess you can look at it that way.
Game still somewhat within reach. As 8:52 to go until halftime, as Paul Johnson will begin the 4th possession of Erie from his own 41. Low snap, he's going to roll and just on the quarterback design run, take it. He works across to the 45 before he takes a big hit. Gets up quickly, but flags do fly.
And that would get you kicked out of a game. That was deliberate targeting. That was helmet to helmet, right on his jaw. He led with the crown of his helmet. But that can't happen in this game. That was a dirty hit.
And you could tell immediately because the defender knew it. That time, that was Caden Wright coming up to lay the hit. He was pleading his case, but to no avail. And that's going to be a personal foul on the St. Francis defender.
Honestly, I don't mean to pile on that player, but he made no attempt to make a proper tackle. He went right for his head.
So for Erie High, the ball now moves to the 38-yard line of St. Francis and a fresh set of downs. Johnson remains in the game. He'll have 4 receivers, 3 to the far side, and a running back set behind Johnson. Shaib Smith, that's where the pitch goes. He tries the right side, has some room to run inside the 35 before being dropped at the 33. So that's a pickup of 5 for Smith.
And maybe that's the key to get, Smith is lightning fast. And I can't believe Johnson got up from that. I'm glad he did. He is fast too. And so, run to the outside, push him to the outside, run right, run left, try to avoid the middle.
Yeah, try to stretch out this Red Raiders defense here. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 5, beg your pardon, for Erie High. 33 of St. Francis. And Johnson going to take the design quarterback run again this time. Tries to get the edge. He has it inside the 30 before taking another big hit from right again, and he's going to be flagged once more.
That one was a little tougher, I think, and the defender, that wasn't as egregious, I don't think, but you have to call it. I understand you have to call with the shots to the head, and Johnson, now he's a tough kid.
And that is a targeting call.
And the fans are voicing their emotion, which is natural. These are kids. It's their kids. You know, it's not like a professional team or anything like that. So I think that was more of just an unfortunate position that the defender was in, but that's a good call by the ref.
Fourth penalty for St. Francis, 3 of which have been personal fouls here in this half, with 7:49 and counting as the ball now moves inside the 15 all the way down to the 13. So for Erie High, after 3 consecutive punts to begin this game, they will take the yardage however they can get it, and now they're inside the red zone trying to put up the opening score of the game for the Royals. It'll be Shaid Smith in the backfield. Johnson working out of the shotgun. 4 receivers split out. Smith motions to the left, and a flag flies again. This time it looks like it's going to go against the Royals for an illegal procedure.
Yeah, Smith didn't know where to go, moving forward when the ball was snapped. But then we're seeing them go right and left, and it's working. And St. Francis is a little off their fundamentals here with 2 very bad penalties. So you take what you can get, and now we see it. We see a little bit more confidence, and Erie's getting a little bit of chunks here. I want them to survive the game. I don't want to see Johnson take another one of those hits. So you don't want those penalties, but you're in the heads of St. Francis a little bit.
So that'll bring up a 1st and 15 from the 18 of St. Francis for Erie High. Trying to get some momentum going here. They open the game with a football, so St. Francis received a second half kick. Johnson just going to tuck it and go on that design quarterback run. Tries to get the edge, spins away from 1 before he's brought down right around about the 15 as they'll give him forward progress for a pickup of 3.
There you go, the run outside again. It's effective. I mean, it's still a tough position, a 2nd and 12. And he took another big shot there, nothing to the head that time, but he's taking a beating in this drive.
As the cheerleaders try to pump up this Royal faithful crowd here. Bringing up a 2nd and 12 from the 15 of St. Francis. A reminder, don't go anywhere at halftime. The Hall Pros halftime show. We'll get scores from around, bring you some of the halftime festivities. It is senior night here as Johnson, a senior, rolls to his left across his body, dumps it off as that one is caught, weaving his way down and still working. As that one started at the 15, and then a flag comes as there's a couple of flags, and now some pushing and shoving here as some things get sorted out. The referees are going to separate the 2 parties.
And we have oh boy, we have an injured player. We have 2 injured players. One is Johnson, unfortunately. 1 for St. Francis, and it's Mike Henry threw a punch at the end of that play. He's going to get probably the only one penalized. One of the St. Francis players appeared to try to pick him up while he was out of bounds. And Henry did not like that, punched him in the shoulder.
So initially from the 15, I believe they get things down to around the 13, so a pickup of 4. But flags did fly again, and we'll figure things out. And I believe it's a starting quarterback, correct? I know Trent Buttles came into the game, and it looks like number 1.
Both quarterbacks are down. So Johnson didn't get hit on that play, which is sometimes worse. So hopefully they're looking at his right leg. Johnson was chased, but no one made contact with him, and he fell. They haven't made the official call yet on I believe it's going to go against Erie only.
So it was complete by Johnson for a pickup of 3, but then we'll await the penalties to see which way we're headed with the football. Penalty is going to go against Erie High.
Yeah, that's Henry. Unfortunately, threw that punch, kind of just shoved him, not like punched him in the face or anything, but you can't do that. It's easy for the ref to see that. I'm sure he didn't appreciate the defender trying to pick him up when he was out of bounds. That makes people upset. They don't like that, but that kills the momentum of this drive.
So all in told, yardage for the most part offsets because it backs up unless they haven't marched it off here yet. Let's see. So all in told, Erie loses just 2 yards. But
that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
They didn't mark off the penalty. They weren't penalized at all.
Well, they did get the ball to the 12. Now it's back at the 14. So nonetheless, it'll be about a 3rd and 10 for Erie High at the Red Raiders' 14-yard line as Masson in at quarterback hands it off to Shaheed Smith. Works inside. He gets down to about the line of scrimmage. And before he stopped, and we'll see what head coach Andre Henderson and company do here with 4th down.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that Erie got a 15-yard penalty that was not marked off, and no one said anything. So I must have missed something. I don't know. I mean, it may be all academic after this play.
Tavion Tenen checking into the ball game here as Masson comes to the sideline. So with Johnson out injured right now, it looks like the Royals will go with a bit of a wildcat formation. And they are facing 4th and 11 from the Red Raiders' 14-yard line. Trailing 21-0 here in the, or 22 rather, I beg your pardon. Erie News Now game of the week. Shaheed Smith will take the snap out of the shotgun, motions Tenen to his left. And he'll take the direct snap and just run with it to the left side. He picks up some blocks, and he waltzes into the end zone. And the Royals are on the board there after the 14-yard touchdown run by Shaheed Smith.
Great job, great blocking on that. The St. Francis has been bringing that linebacker blitz on every single play, and they ran to the weak side and found the blocks. Good for them, converting the 4th and 11, get some momentum, get back in this game.
So Erie High will now attempt to go for 2. As it's Smith again, going to line up in the shotgun. This time it goes to the Tavion Tenen, who's going to fall short on the 2-point try. So Erie High's on the board with the opening touchdown for Shaheed Smith. The score 22-6 with 4:53 left of the half. Back in a moment on the Erie News Now Game of the Week.
At Orthopedic Associates of Meadville, our growing team of surgeons utilize cutting-edge, patient-centered procedures and treatments to get you active and healthy again. From high-quality personalized care to state-of-the-art injury treatment and prevention, the choice has been clear for over 50 years. The largest, most skillful team of orthopedic specialists in Crawford County, delivering orthopedic care that you and your family depend on. Right here, close to home.
Okay, time for a refresher course. You already know Hallman Chevy is your regional used car outlet with the best selection of efficient cars, capable trucks, and tackle anything SUVs. All with Hallman Complete Care, free oil changes and state inspections. But did you know that Hallman wants to buy your car whether you buy here or not? Don't mess around with the other guys. Get what you deserve at Hallman. When you want it, Hallman has it.
Welcome back to the Erie News Now Game of the Week. The Royals are on the board after the opening touchdown for them on their 4th possession of the ball game. Shaheed Smith with a 14-yard touchdown run, the 2-point try, no good. So that's where things stand with under 5 minutes to go until the Hall Pros halftime show. Erie's trusted junk removal team will bring you some of the halftime as well on senior night as the kick goes away. That's going to be taken by Aiden Hopwood back around his own 16. He's going to work to the middle of the field, still working right around the 29 before he is brought backwards. They'll mark him down at the 27, and that's where the 4th possession will begin for St. Francis.
So plenty of time. No team has taken a timeout yet in this first half, so we got all the compliments of timeouts with 4:46 on the clock. St. Francis has been running no huddle, and now unfortunately it was Jack Musson, who was the backup quarterback, is limping off the field. Seems to be all right, but ginger a little bit coming off.
Paul Johnson sitting on the near bench here. He took a couple of hits. as we get set. So slightly injured was Trent Buttles on that defensive possession, but he'll hand it off to Cook Jr., who works straight up the middle, and he has room to run. He's going to go all the way, as this one going to go for a 68-yard touchdown, or excuse me, 72-yard touchdown. And that is that blazing speed, and that's why it's Division I program like Syracuse very interested in the senior running back.
Mason Anderson, the wide receiver, had that final block. He just pretty much just destroyed his blocking assignment and pancaked him. Had a little things to say too. He's got to be careful. The refs will pick up on that for any taunting. It didn't go that far, but he's just got to be careful. And St. Francis, talk about an answer. That was quick.
He had just 14 seconds in one play to go 72 yards for the score, as they go for two, and that goes right up the middle to make it a 30-6 lead for St. Francis, and a flag flies late as some extracurricular activities continued after that play.
And one of the Erie players shoved a St. Francis player who it looked like he kind of threw himself down. He still can't push guys after the whistle, but he kind of fell after that, so they're going to call this.
So we'll sort things out as we will take our final break here of the first half. Back in a moment. The score 30-6, St. Francis over Erie High.
At Nova Cabinets, Countertops, and Floors, we specialize in cabinets, countertops, and floors that redefine luxury and durability. Imagine opening your cabinets to find organized bliss with every item in its place. Picture preparing meals on stunning granite or quartz countertops that are as resilient as they are beautiful. And let's not forget the floors. We have an extensive range of flooring options to complement any aesthetic. Visit our showroom or call us today. Nova Cabinets, Countertops, and Floors, your partner in creating the home of your dreams.
Have you cleaned out your gutters, properly insulated your attic, and you're still experiencing dangerous icicles and ice dams during the winter months? Leon Construction can keep things flowing with our self-regulating heat cable on your eaves and in your gutters and downspouts. Warm things up this winter and get peace of mind. Call today or visit us at leoncep.com and enjoy winter this season. Leon Construction, the king of quality.
Welcome it back to Veterans Memorial Stadium. The 15-yard penalty win against the Royals. Their sixth penalty of the first half for 55 penalty yards. The score is 30-6 after the quick answer after the Shaheed Smith 14-yard touchdown made it a 22-6 ball game. The run game of St. Francis answered on a 72-yard run by Dominic Cook Jr. Jacob Janis set to kick this off from the Erie High 45. It'll go into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback for the Royals. Fifth possession to start at the 20-yard line.
So I wonder, I would think especially at halftime, the referees talking to the coaches to try to get this game under control a little bit. The referees have it under control, but, some of these penalties, like that last personal foul, it was just a push. But I think the referees need to call everything. They need to punish the teams to get into their mind that we're not going to tolerate anything here. And I think they've done a good job. The referees can't control everything, but they at least can control penalizing these teams and telling the coaches, look, tell your players you got to get control of your emotions. Both sides. It's not just Erie. It's St. Francis too, with some questionable hits on the last drive. 5
personal foul penalties so far in this opening half. A combined 11 penalties between the two clubs here unofficially in the opening half of play. From Veterans Memorial Stadium, we thank you, John Laddick, alongside Jamie Murphy. Thank you for joining us wherever you may be watching or listening along here tonight, as the ball taken here by Shaheed Smith, working out of the Wildcat, and he gets maybe to the 21 for a 1-yard pickup before he is pushed back.
And we may be seeing this the rest of the game, because neither quarterback is in the game right now. The two that are listed as the quarterbacks, with Johnson and Musono both on the sideline.
Yeah. Musono standing just behind head coach Andre Henderson on the near side sideline. But right now it'll be Smith working out of the Wildcat with Tavion Tenen to his right. So they try to sort things out here between the two. 2nd and 9 now. And it's Smith looking to pass, but now he's just going to tuck it and run and use his athleticism. He tries to get out to the 25, gets to the 24. That'll be a pickup of 3 and bring up a 3rd and 6.
Smith pulled his glove off at the very last second to try to deceive the players, or maybe they changed the play at the last second. He threw his glove off just as the snap came to try to throw that ball, but he didn't really even get a chance to look downfield.
Again, should they pick up the first down and continue this drive, Erie High still has 3 timeouts remaining in this opening half of play, as does St. Francis. Quick moving half. We're just about an hour into this one and approaching halftime with 3 minutes and counting. So a 3rd and 6 for the Royals. Jack Masson is in. Masson, excuse me. And he takes the shotgun snap, going to roll to the near side, tries to avoid the pressure, but will be dropped for the 2nd St. Francis sack of the night.
It looked like it was a designed pass play to try to roll out to the right and maybe dump that out, but he just never had a chance. That's a tough throw for a quarterback to make, running for a righty running to his left. Tavari Mims was open for a pass in the flat. And St. Francis just didn't let it happen, and you got to think the Red Raiders are coming hard after the punter here with the ball inside the 15.
It was a loss of 9 that makes it a 4th and 15, and that was TJ Ware coming up with a sack. His 3rd sack of the season. Also has 18 tackles coming into this one. Tenen, as he awaits one more Royal to get onto the field for punt coverage. He's back there, and he'll kick to Cook Jr. and Hopwood, who have shown to be dangerous here in special teams. Hopwood, though, going to let this one sail over his head, comes awfully close to his back foot before he's able to get out of the way. The ball down at the 45-yard line for St. Francis.
And as expected, when a score is like this, the starting possession line has been pretty lopsided tonight. St. Francis has started really no worse than their own 40. And they've had 1-2 play drives already tonight.
Yeah, things started out with 2 possessions in the Erie High territory. And they have scored on 4 straight possessions, including a 2-yard touchdown pass from Buttles to Anderson, a 5-yard touchdown run by Clark Jr. Buttles and Anderson again combined on a 9-yard passing touchdown and a 72-yard touchdown run by Cook Jr. on the last possession. We'll get things started here with Zielinski in motion. It's Buttles surveying the scene and launching deep. He has a man open, but this one a little underthrown. And it is intercepted by the Royals. Didn't know who's going to come up with it. Shaid Smith with the turnover. Almost like a punt play, though, right back to where the Royals just gave it to St. Francis. But the Royals defense, as we talked in the pregame, coming up with a patented turnover.
There's a considerable size disadvantage for the 5'7" Smith against the 6'1" Mason Anderson out there, and Smith, his leaping abilities overcame that. Again, the ball was underthrown, which helped him out, so great job. Smith's done a great job in coverage tonight, and it's tough to cover someone who's 4 or 5 inches taller. Buttles, good job to step up in that pocket, but he really had a hard time following through on that because of the rush from the Royals.
So with 1:51 to go, Erie High will get another chance, the 6th time the offense has possessed the ball here tonight. They'll start things off at the Erie High 15. And the ball put on the ground as trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. Ball loose again, still rolling around here, and we'll see who comes up with it. I believe Shaid Smith was able to get back to that. Fortunate enough for the Royals.
Jeez,
as the Tenen was the first one to lose it, and then the ball was popped out again before Shaid Smith grabs it, but he's dropped for a 4-yard loss all the way back to the 11.
Looks like Tavion Tenen slow to get up. He's got to come to the sidelines very slowly.
So that'll bring up a 2nd and 14 for the Royals.
You can call that a disastrous play. So a loss of 5 it could have been worse.
So see how the Royals set things up here. As I believe that's Jack Masson in at quarterback now. And he'll just hand it off to Smith, who tries to set up his blocks, but not much doing there as he gets out to about the 12 for a pickup of 2.
And doesn't appear that Erie's going to utilize any of these timeouts, which I can kind of understand because it would give more time to St. Francis to get a possession. So
Smith will check out. Tenen back into the ball game after departing with that brief injury. Masson will work out of the quarterback position here on a 3rd and 10 as the clock winds to 40 seconds and counting. So Masson just going to hand this off as going up the middle and still working there was Tenen as he worked from the 13 all the way out to the 22 for a pickup of 9.
And I'm surprised St. Francis, and I think they finally did. They waited about 5 or 6 seconds. They will finally call a timeout here to try to get one more crack at the scoreboard here before the end of the half.
Things stand 22 seconds to go in the half. Again, St. Francis will now have 2 timeouts to play with after what we'll see is if the Royals decide to try and push this one or just punt it away and live to reset in the second half. Trailing 30-6. Again, the Hall Pros halftime show coming your way here. It is senior night, so any festivities or halftime performances we'll try to bring you along here on the Hall Pros halftime show. Some scores, and then we'll try to give you some stats as well to reset things here before the second half of play gets underway. Big thank you to the Erie High School District for allowing us to be here and broadcast this game against St. Francis, as well as our great sponsors, Nova Countertops and Kitchen, throughout the season, and Floors as well, bringing you the great coverage along with Leon's Construction, Orthopedic Associates of Meadville Medical Center, and Plastex, all great sponsors of the Erie News Now Game of the Week, and we thank them for being able to bring so many of the great games that have transpired over here throughout the first 8 weeks of the high school football season in District 10. So on a 4th and about 2, Masson in at quarterback. It appears the Royals for now will start, but it's Masson stepping back, tries to get this one off. It is not going to travel far, but a favorable bounce will go across the 50 down to the 45 of St. Francis. So pressure there, but Masson gets a favorable bounce to get to the other side of the 50.
I have no idea how that ball wasn't blocked. It was like defied physics. That ball came out of a mass of players. Not sure if that was a design. It looked like he took a couple steps back as a kind of a pooch punt, but then he took an extra couple of steps. So I'm not sure what the design play was, but could have been worse.
And we'll see what St. Francis leading 30-6, what they decide to do here with just 10 seconds to go to the half. Do they take a shot play, or do they just take a knee as they'll receive the second half kickoff? Buttles will work out of the shotgun. He has 4 receivers split out, and Cook Jr., the sidecar to his right here. Buttles standing his own 40, 3-step drop, and he's going to launch it deep downfield. He has his man caught all the way down to the 15-yard line, and they still have 2 timeouts. That'll stop the clock as it goes out of bounds to reset with 4 seconds.
He had that man isolated coverage. You know, that's 75%, 80% completion when you go to him down that right sideline. So not enough time to run a play. It's either a field goal or an end zone shot here.
As that one complete for 38 yards, and bringing it in that time was none other than Mason Anderson, who has had himself a half. As Buttles takes the snap, he looks towards the end zone for Anderson, who has it for the score. The 3rd time that duo's connected tonight to extend the lead now to 36-6.
And it looked like Anderson got away with a little bit of a push-off, not a lot of argument from Erie, and that's just a kick to the gut. Score at the end of the half, a 12-second 2-play drive that went 55 yards. That's just demoralizing for Erie, and they're going to go to the half down by at least 30. Depending on this conversion.
It'll be Janis lining up for what would be his 3rd extra point after back-to-back 2-point tries from the Red Raiders. At least for now, they'll line up to go for the extra point. And the hold is down, the kick is up, and it is good. So at the half, the score, St. Francis 37, Erie High 6. The Hall Pros halftime show is up next.
At Orthopedic Associates of Meadville, our growing team of surgeons utilize cutting-edge, patient-centered procedures and treatments to get you active and healthy again. From high-quality personalized care to state-of-the-art injury treatment and prevention, the choice has been clear for over 50 years. The largest, most skillful team of orthopedic specialists in Crawford County, delivering orthopedic care that you and your family depend on, right here, close to home.
Craving something fresh, delicious, and locally sourced? At Give a Crepe La Creperie, we serve up savory and sweet crepes made with the best ingredients and crafted with care. And yes, we've got 100% gluten-free and vegan options too. Join us at our location in the heart of Little Italy. Whether you're in the mood for a quick bite or a leisurely meal, we've got you covered with cozy indoor seating, al fresco dining, and easy carry-out options. Come experience flavors that are fresh, vibrant, and made with care. It's easy to give a crepe about Erie.
Meet Bobby. Bobby banks at Marquette, but he's never stepped foot in the bank. Bobby opened his account online. He does everything online. Scanning a receipt? He does it while fighting an alien invasion. Tracking his budget? He does it storming the castle. Checking rewards points? He does it slaying dragons. He can do it all online. That's Bobby, and that's why he's with Marquette. Be like Bobby. Be empowered at Marquette Savings Bank.
Thinking of selling but feeling stressed and just don't know where to begin? As Erie's senior care expert, I can make selling your home a little less stressful by personally assisting you from beginning to end. I will be there personally every step of the way. Beat your competition and list now while the housing inventory is low and the seller's market is still hot. Call D. Caruana and Associates today and put my one-of-a-kind multimedia marketing plan to work for you. Your home could be the next one on our sold list.
The High School Football Halftime Show is brought to you by Hall Pros, Erie's trusted junk removal team.
We welcome you into the Hall Pros halftime show. Hall Pros, Erie's trusted junk removal team here. And it is senior night here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, so we're going to send it down to the field and with PA announcer Jesse Tate for some of the senior night festivities here at Erie's Veteran Memorial Stadium.
Ariana plans to pursue child education and become an elementary school teacher. Her favorite class, Aspiring Educators in Government. Favorite thing of marching band, the feeling of accomplishment when a skill is finally mastered and a feeling after a good performance. Give a round of applause for Ariana Bell Perry. Our next senior, Adina Cole. She's escorted by her mom, Diana Cole, grandmother Janice Cole, and sister Ava Cole. Adina plans to attend college to major in music, education, and radiology. Her favorite class is orchestra. Her favorite thing about the marching band is meeting other bands. Give a round of applause for Adina Cole. Our next senior, Addison Smith. Addison is scored by her mom, Michelle Smith, uncle Michael Moore, and cousin Emma. Addison plans to go to the college and study criminal justice and forensics and hopes to become a state trooper. Her favorite class, My Shop Protective Services. We are all a family who do fun things together like at Kennywood. Give a round of applause for Addison Smith. And last but not least, our last senior, Dustin Trimmer. Dustin is escorted by his mom, Jessica Trimmer, and grandmother, Juliana Phillips. Dustin plans after graduating, Dustin plans to pursue a bachelor's degree in music education at Mercyhurst University. His favorite class is creative writing. His favorite band will be First Time Marching and Band and Having a Time Band and family to create the best show possible. Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for Dustin Trimmer. Ladies and gentlemen, next up is our senior cheerleader.
At 10-2 Credit Union, we tend to your financial needs, starting with lower credit card rates. Because when we tend to your budget, you can tend to what matters most. Tend to your dreams, tend to your future, tend to credit card rates that work for you. Lower rates, better living. 10-2 Credit Union.
At Nova Cabinets, Countertops, and Floors, we specialize in cabinets, countertops, and floors that redefine luxury and durability. Imagine opening your cabinets to find organized bliss with every item in its place. Picture preparing meals on stunning granite or quartz countertops that are as resilient as they are beautiful. And let's not forget the floors. We have an extensive range of flooring options to complement any aesthetic. Visit our showroom or call us today. Nova Cabinets, Countertops, and Floors, your partner in creating the home of your dreams.
Your home is your castle, but is your roof fit for a king? At Leon Construction, we provide top-tier roofing to shield your home from leaks and the damaging effects of water. With premium materials, expert craftsmanship, and lifetime warranties, we don't just build roofs, we build protection. Get the royal treatment your home deserves. Call today for your free roof inspection. Leon Construction, the king of quality. Call 450-4601 or visit us online at leoncep.com.
Craving authentic Italian flavors? Step into Valerio's Italian Restaurant and Pizzeria. Our food is made with the freshest ingredients where every bite is an escape to Italy. From fresh and delicious pizzas to calzones, wings, soups, and many other appetizers. Not only can you get our delicious food in our 3 locations, we also offer catering services. From business luncheons to weddings, we have your catering needs covered. So bring the whole family or make it a date night. It'll be an experience you won't forget.
Valerio's, fresh from Italy to you.
We tackle some of Erie's toughest and dirtiest jobs, so you don't have to. We're Haul Pros, Erie's 5-star rated junk removal service. From estate cleanouts to hoarding situations, our team delivers results you can see the same day. Families and business owners trust us because we show up prepared, handle every detail, and leave nothing behind but relief. Call today and mention you saw us on TV for $50 off your next cleanout. Results first, that's our promise.
At the Empty Keg, we believe a good meal feels like home. Family owned and a proud part of Edinboro's history, our doors have always been open to neighbors, friends, and newcomers alike. Our homestyle menu brings people together with hearty daily specials made to be shared. From seasonal beers and monthly tap features to happy hour specials after work, there's always something to raise a glass to. Whether it's a family dinner, a night out with friends, or just a place to unwind, the Empty Keg is where everyone belongs. The Empty Keg, where Edinboro comes together.
At 10-2 Credit Union, we tend to make becoming a member easy. Walk in, sign up, and start saving. We tend to your needs with lower rates, fewer fees, and personalized service. Tend to joining, tend to thriving, tend to enjoying the benefits today. Easy to join, built for you. 10-2 Credit Union.
Welcome back to the Hall Pros halftime show. Hall Pros, Erie's trusted junk removal team. John Leidick alongside Jamie Murphy as we continue to show you the halftime festivities taking place here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Now recognizing the senior cheerleaders after the members of the marching band to start things off that we brought you here to open the Hall Pros halftime show. Jamie, as we get into this one, we bring you some takeaways from the first half, and it seemed like, again, that dynamic offense for St. Francis showing up in a big way.
Yeah, they just did whatever they wanted, and it doesn't hurt that they, I don't believe, took any procedure penalties. They did get away with one fumble. They even have played undisciplined on defense with some very bad targeting penalties, and that still really didn't hurt them. So St. Francis weapons are they're a lot for everybody. We see them put up 40 points a game almost, and they're well on their way to doing that here. So that last drive was just an absolutely emotional killer for Erie, because they had some success. They were able to run outside a little bit more. They were able to move the ball down the field, at least get something. And then with 12 seconds left, you give up 2 plays and a score. I mean, that's tough to talk to your players at halftime. What do you say to them after that? Like, if that doesn't happen, I know it's still 30-6, but you were able to at least, again, get 6 on the board, go down the field. It's not been pretty. That's just such a killer.
Yeah, certainly not how things wanted to be drawn up. Let's take a look. Erie Times News out-of-town scoreboard here. Currently 37-6 at the half, obviously, here at the Veterans Memorial Stadium game. And most of these games just in the early stages of the first quarter, but Wilmington out to a 14-0 lead over Mercer. Reynolds leading Lucas out of Ohio 7-0. And then number of other games just kicking off, so no scores early on. Franklin leading 7-0. No score between Conneaut and Sharon in the first quarter. An 8-0 Slippery Rock lead over Titusville. Corey gets the opening score against Fairview out at Sheen Field in Corey, PA. 6-0. 7-0 Fort LaBeouf leads Harbor Creek. General McLean wasting no time, up 14-0 down at Bender Field in Meadville. 14-0 Oil City over Warren. And Cathedral Prep trails Benedictine, Ohio, 7-0 down at Dollinger Field. And McDowell with an early 3-0 lead down in Youngstown, Ohio, over Austin Town Fitch. As we get set to continue along in this one, let's bring you some of the statistics from this opening half of play. As throughout the first half, of course, the passing game not really lining up for the Erie High Royals in this one, as they continue to honor the seniors here, now working on to the football players. For Erie High, though, Shaid Smith, 8 rushes for 24 yards. Paul Johnson with 4 rushes for 60 yards. As we continue along here as well, you had the 3 touchdown passes between Trent Buttles and Mason Anderson that went for scores of 2, 9, as well as that 17-yard touchdown pass. In the first half, you had 5 catches for 78 yards for Anderson, the top wide receiver target for Buttles, who also in that opening half of play passed for 148 yards. Meanwhile, for 80 yards. Meanwhile, the St. Francis Red Raiders ran for 148, while Erie High just 65 yards rushing, -4 yards passing. The penalty yardage, 55 for Erie High, 50 for St. Francis, and the score 37-6. Jamie?
Well, the thing that concerns me a little bit is this first half was pretty chippy, and there was a lot of undisciplined play on both sides. But I saw, a lot of the St. Francis players kind of trash talking a little bit. So hopefully this doesn't kind of get a little out of control here in the second half, because the game is lopsided, and that can happen. These are people. They're not just because they're younger. It happens when you're playing a sport and it's not going your way. That's natural human reaction. So the referees, I'm sure, have done this already. Talk to the players, talk to the coaches, say, hey, just play this out. No late hits, no shoves, no pushes, and try to just no one get hurt in this game. So for the second half, it's just a matter of just winning the play. That's all you can do. You get a possession. You're not going to score 30 points on one play. You get to the mercy rule kicks in at 35-point advantage in the second half, and we're at 31. So we're close to that. But just win a play and then win the next play and then build on that. And I know that sounds cliche and obvious, but that's really the only thing you can do if you're on the Royals.
Yeah, it'll be quite a hill to climb. Again, Erie High, the big thing here is also you can take away is, again, how do you come out of the second half and use a team like this St. Francis to kind of set the stage? You only have 2 more games before you get set for a district championship game again in 3 weeks against McDowell, another team that you struggled to contain early on in the season as we continue to honor the seniors. We're going to take one final time out here on the Hall Pros halftime show, and we'll bring you some other senior activities here before we kick off the second half of play. The score, St. Francis 37, Erie High 6. Back in a moment on the Hall Pros halftime show.
At Orthopedic Associates of Meadville, our growing team of surgeons utilize cutting-edge, patient-centered procedures and treatments to get you active and healthy again. From high-quality personalized care to state-of-the-art injury treatment and prevention, the choice has been clear for over 50 years. The largest, most skillful team of orthopedic specialists in Crawford County, delivering orthopedic care that you and your family depend on. Right here, close to home.
Craving something fresh, delicious, and locally sourced? At Give a Crepe La Creperie, we serve up savory and sweet crepes made with the best ingredients and crafted with care. And yes, we've got 100% gluten-free and vegan options too. Join us at our location in the heart of Little Italy. Whether you're in the mood for a quick bite or a leisurely meal, we've got you covered with cozy indoor seating, al fresco dining, and easy carry-out options. Come experience flavors that are fresh, vibrant, and made with care. It's easy to give a crepe about Erie.
Friday nights in our community mean one thing: high school football. And just like your hometown team, McMillan's Towing is always ready when you need us most. From breakdowns and accidents to roadside emergencies, McMillan's Towing has you covered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. McMillan's Towing, proud to support our student athletes and the entire community this season. McMillan's Towing, reliable, professional, always here when you need us. Call 814-897-8989.
What if where you banked made a difference? What if that bank were the only one headquartered right here, and every dollar stayed here? To empower businesses to create jobs, empower families to prosper, empower our communities to be better places. Because after all, we're in this together, and where you bank does matter. Be empowered at Marquette Savings Bank.
Thinking of selling but feeling stressed and just don't know where to begin? As Erie's senior care expert, I can make selling your home a little less stressful by personally assisting you from beginning to end. I will be there personally every step of the way. Beat your competition and list now while the housing inventory is low and the seller's market is still hot. Call D. Caruana and Associates today and put my one-of-a-kind multimedia marketing plan to work for you. Your home could be the next one on our sold list.
All right, we welcome you back to the Hall Pros halftime show as the senior football players continue to be introduced here. We'll take you down to the field.
Give a round of applause for Dr. Jay Thomas. Our next senior, Natavion Tang. Natavion has playing for the Royals for 3 years. He was also one of the defensive player of the year and also regional defensive preseason player of 2025. Natavion wants to attend college on to continue playing football. He would like to give a shout out to his grandma for everything she has done, and his mom for taking this for me and supporting him every day and every day possible. He also wants to thank his best friend for always being by his side and supporting him. Last thing he wants to thank God and also he's blessed. And Natavion is supported by his mom, Terry Keys, his dad, Andrew Nixon, his brother from near Pew, Louise Moore, and his best friend, Leo Les. Give a round of applause for Natavion Tang. Our next senior, Elijah Fleming. Elijah has been playing football for all 4 years in high school. He also runs the board and outdoor track and field. Elijah plans to on to college after graduation and pursue a degree in finance or physical education. Elijah also plans on running track in college and hopefully one day being an Olympian. Elijah was a 4-time junior Olympian, ranked first in the Western Erie for the 1,500-meter run and AAU track. He is being escorted by his mom, Christy, and his dad, Molester, as well as his sister, Avery, and his brother, Ryan. Give a round of applause for Elijah Brennan. And last but not least, Jameer Andrews. Jameer is supported by his brother, Amir. Jameer has played football for the Royals for the last 2 years. He would like to attend college after graduation and play football. He's being escorted by his dad, Jameer Andrews, and also his cousin, Amari Andrews. Give a round of applause for Jameer Andrews. Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for all the seniors that are being honored tonight on senior night.
A big congratulations to all the senior members of the marching band, the cheerleading squad, and the football team here for Erie High as they are recognized here on their final night as final performance here at Veterans Memorial Stadium as seniors of the Erie High School District. I'm John Laddick alongside Jamie Murphy. Jamie, as we count down the two teams coming back down out of halftime to score 37-6. As we set the stage here, we'll start, I guess, with the Royals. Where do you get the momentum going here? You saw some positives out of Shaheed Smith, I'd imagine, is where you begin.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to do the same thing they did late in the second half and just run Wildcat with him because with their two quarterbacks, Johnson and Mousson, both banged up. It looks like Mousson's healthy enough to get in there. Johnson's injury looked a little bit more severe. It's kind of worked, and they have not tried to run up the middle since the end of the first quarter because they just didn't go anywhere. So just keep running right to left and, stay away from the penalties. I know it kind of obvious, hold on to the ball, that kind of stuff. So you just try to chip away, get a positive drive, win a play, and do what you can on defense. But this offense is so difficult to stop for St. Francis, and it's not because Erie's 1-6 or Erie doesn't have a deep roster or they're not good at football or anything like that. St. Francis is a powerhouse. They really are. They've got Division I future college players. This is such a tough assignment for any team, and it showed. They've rolled over everybody. So just getting some confidence to go forward. The game with McDowell in a couple weeks is the biggest game of the season, and just work toward that.
Trent Muddles in the first half, he was 6 of 9 for 92 yards, 3 touchdowns and the 1 interception. His main target, none other than Mason Anderson, who has plenty of interest as a sophomore from Division I programs, including the likes of Syracuse, Toledo, Temple, and the University of Texas, San Antonio. He had 5 catches for 78 yards, and including those 3 scores. Meanwhile, you had Dominic Cook Jr., 5 rushes, 96 yards, and the touchdown, the big 72-yard touchdown run, part of his night, and 4 for 47 on the other side for Tyron Clark Jr. Meanwhile, on the Erie High side of things, it was not a great first half of passing as Paul Johnson, taking a look at his statistics from the opening half of play, 2 of 6 for -2 yards. Meanwhile, Jack Masson, he was 0 for 1, and he had 1 reception for Justin Parker for -3. Meanwhile, Shaheed Smith, 8 carries for 24 yards. Paul Johnson, 4 for 60. And the leading tackler, Davari Mims, for the Erie High Royals as St. Francis gets set here. Erie High just making its way down the steps here as we still have about 2:15 to go here before we kick off the second half of play. And we'll take another look around the scores from out of town as, again, with the early kickoff here, many of these games just in the early portions of action. Benedictine and Cathedral Prep, boy, they brought the offenses to start in this one, 13-7. Benedictine, Ohio, down at Dollinger Field leads the Ramblers of Cathedral Prep 13-7. McDowell still leading in the second quarter, 3-0 over Austintown Fitch. Oil City already up 28-0 in the second quarter over Warren. General McLean leading 21-0 in the late stages of the first quarter down at Bender Field. Harbor Creek trails Fort LaBeouf 15-7. The Huskies on the road at Carmen Benito Field. 6-0 Corey leading Fairview. Titusville trails Slippery Rock at Carter Stadium. And Titusville 8-0. Sharon and Conneaut still scoreless late in the first quarter. Mercier's Prep up 13-0 over Iroquois. 7-0 Franklin over Eisenhower. A bit of a surprise there down at Riley Memorial Field out in Russell, PA. And a 7-0 lead for Reynolds. 21-0 Wilmington over Mercer. And a 24-0 lead Farrell over Sharpsville. Again, those scores brought to you by the Erie Times News Scoring Live stat page. Thanks to those guys for the work they do over there. Meanwhile, final stretches here. I know we talked about the Erie High adjustments. I don't know if you make too many if you're St. Francis, but I guess if you are the Red Raiders, clean up the penalties there, Jamie, and see if you can get the ground game going again.
Yeah, the coaches, I'm sure they've already had this conversation while it happened. Two just poor decisions by St. Francis players. One was a brutal hit on Johnson. I don't know how he got up. And one of them was just an unfortunate collision. I don't think there was intent, but it was a good call by the referees so 2 targeting calls. That's it. That's really the only blemish on St. Francis. And you wonder, I would say their starters stay in for maybe a quarter and then get the backups in there. And they did whatever they wanted on offense. But, the defense, Erie has not been able to throw the ball effectively all year, but there's nothing. It's not because Johnson can't throw the ball. There's nobody open. Their defense is just unbelievable in coverage, and there was nowhere to go. They've been bringing the linebackers in on a blitz almost every play, and Erie's still been able to run away from that blitz and get some yards, but they can't throw. They just can't even get time to throw. So credit the Red Raiders defense has just been dominant.
Just to recap the scoring here in this one, after Erie High took the opening kickoff and punted, it was a 2-yard touchdown pass. They needed just 2 plays after the great kickoff return by Aiden Hopwood set up the Red Raiders at the 16-yard line of Erie. It was a 14-yard run from Dominic Cook Jr. and then a 2-yard touchdown pass from Trent Buttles to Mason Anderson for the early 7-0 lead. Then after another Royals punt, a 5-yard touchdown run by Tyron Clark Jr. made it 14-0. The Royals punted again, and then it was back to the air for Buttles to Anderson for the second time of the game. This one a 9-yard completion and a 2-point try, good to go up 22-0. And then it was a 72-yard run from Cook Jr. that made it 30-0 after the 2-point try was good. And then Erie High, I skipped the Erie High touchdown, a 14-yard touchdown run by Shaheed Smith made it 22-6. Then it was the 72-yard answer from Cook Jr. And then that touchdown pass right before the half as St. Francis was able to march down the field 55 yards in just 2 plays. It was a 17-yard touchdown pass from Buttles to Anderson to make it 37-6 as we begin the second half of play again. It was the coin toss won by St. Francis. They deferred to the second half, so they will take the ball here to begin half number 2. You are watching the Erie News Now live broadcast game of the week. Thanks so much to Leon's Construction, Nova Countertops, cabinets, countertops, and floors. Get the kitchen of your dreams. Orthopedic Associates of Meadville Medical Center, and Plastic Gas. This one kicked off by Ben Masson. It's going to be taken right around the 28-yard line by St. Francis, still weaving and working all the way out and pushing forward near midfield before the whistles blow to draw this play to a conclusion. And it looks like St. Francis will get things started from its own 49-yard line to begin half number 2.
And they still have not started inside their own 40. Good kick return there. The Erie High looking to avoid the more explosive kick returners, but St. Francis has so many athletes that anyone who touches the ball is a really strong running back. So yeah, the starters are still in there. That's not really a surprising thing, but
so it will be Buttles, and it looks like it'll be Cook Jr. to start as a sidecar to the right to begin half number 2 from the 49-yard line. And it's the handoff to Cook Jr., who starts left but cuts back right before he's brought down. That's going to be a loss of a couple as they push him back to the 47 for a loss of 2.
Tavari Mims, nice play. He held his ground. He kept his assignment, didn't overcommit, and a good open field tackle. He was just honored at halftime, this 5'11 senior. Good play by Mims.
So that'll bring up a 2nd and 12 from the 47-yard line of St. Francis. Positive play to begin the second half for the Royals. They look to try and build some momentum and maybe get an early stop. Buttles takes the shotgun snap, looks left, sees some pressure, so he's just going to tuck it, and he has room to run. Still working inside the Royals 30, down to the 20, inside the 15, still running right around the 10-yard line. As we'll see where they mark him out at the 9. So that time a 45-yard run to get down to the 9.
It looked like he wanted to go to Anderson, who had some space between him and his man down the left sideline, but didn't have really room to step up. And Buttles a little quicker than expected. Not that I thought he was slow, but he's got some speed too.
Check that. They mark him and give him 44. So his first carry of the night, a big one. That'll be a 1st and 10 from the Royals' 9-yard line. As they'll send a man in motion, and Zielinski. Buttles takes the snap, surveys the scene, tries to run up the middle, still searching, throws towards the back of the end zone, and that is caught.
They had about 3 linemen in the end zone,
for a
so
touchdown.
I don't think that's going to count.
And yes, there's right around the line of scrimmage, as that one will not go. It was Aiden Lindstrom, I believe, the receiver that made the catch in the end zone. But the penalty will be ineligible man downfield, and that'll back it up 5 yards.
Willie Workketter, the center, he was on the goal line. That's just a little too far, since the line of scrimmage was like the 9-yard line. So, but in his defense, Buttles kind of extended that play and looked like he was going to run. So that's tough for linemen. They can't see behind him.
So back it up 5. It'll be 1st and 15 from the 14 as Buttles takes the snap, looks on a quick slant play as that pass falls incomplete.
So they had the slant open, but not a well-thrown ball there. So just shake it and move on to the second down play here.
Intended receiver that time was Evan Necker, but he couldn't haul it in on the low throw. So 2nd and 15 from the 14. Buttles working out of the shotgun as Larry Hardy, the sidecar, to his left. And boy, oh boy, how about the defense for the Royals coming up with a big hit there as Buttles is slow to get up after that one. Goes on the read option, but he's limping a little bit after that one after he takes the big hit.
Yeah, a great job there by Nijon Young coming off the right side on the blitz. And his assignment was the quarterback, and he didn't bite on that play fake. Good athletic play. I couldn't quite see what happened to Buttles. It didn't seem like he took a hard direct hit, but maybe he hit knee to knee or something.
So, 3rd down. And 19, a little screen pass here as this one goes out to Hardy. But Erie High with a good job to swarm to the ball carrier on the completion here, so that'll bring up a 4th down. Keep in mind, Jacob Janis has not attempted a field goal yet this year for St. Francis. But we'll see what they do here.
That's interesting. He was out here practicing, and not a massive leg, but pretty decent, hitting from 35 yards, which is a lot harder than it looks. And maybe he'll get his first one here.
So that was about a 6-yard completion to Hardy for his first reception of the night. We'll see if Mr. Janis can connect here to extend this lead to 3, by 3 more, I should say. As the ball from the 13, so 30-yard field goal attempt, high snap, the hold down, the kick up, and the kick is good. As St. Francis extends the lead to 40-6. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching the Erie News Now Game of the Week.
At Nova Cabinets, Countertops, and Floors, we specialize in cabinets, countertops, and floors that redefine luxury and durability. Imagine opening your cabinets to find organized bliss with every item in its place. Picture preparing meals on stunning granite or quartz countertops that are as resilient as they are beautiful. And let's not forget the floors. We have an extensive range of flooring options to complement any aesthetic. Visit our showroom or call us today. Nova Cabinets, Countertops, and Floors, your partner in creating the home of your dreams. treatments.
Craving authentic Italian flavors? Step into Valerio's Italian Restaurant and Pizzeria. Our food is made with the freshest ingredients where every bite is an escape to Italy. From fresh and delicious pizzas to calzones, wings, soups, and many other appetizers. Not only can you get our delicious food in our 3 locations, we also offer catering services. From business luncheons to weddings, we have your catering needs covered. So bring the whole family or make it a date night. It'll be an experience you won't forget.
Valerio's, fresh from Italy to you.
Welcome back to the Erie News Now Game of the Week as the 6th scoring drive for St. Francis. This one, though, not a touchdown, a field goal of 30 yards for Jacob Janis. His first of the year is good to extend the lead to 40-6. So a 34-point lead for St. Francis Red Raiders as Erie High will get set to touch the football for the first time in half number 2.
Yeah, good job by the Erie defense. It's a kind of a hollow victory on that one, but they stood up in the last parts of the drive.
Henry takes it, flips back to Shaheed Smith, who's still dancing his way around, back around his own 20 before he is brought down at the 24-yard line, and that's where Erie High will begin half number 2 on the offensive side of the ball.
So we'll see what kind of format they have on offense, whether they're going to go to the Wildcat, if you call it that still. It might be a kind of an outdated term, but to see the direct snaps that we've seen with 2 different quarterbacks tonight and Shaheed Smith, and it looks like neither one of the Muson or Johnson are going to be out there, at least for the first place.
It'll be Natavion Tenen and Shaheed Smith were the 2 that were working out of the backfield towards the end of the second half. So that's how things will set up for the Royals, who appear that they'll go to the run game and lean on that as we have whistles stopping action and a timeout for Erie High. So before they can get the first snap off, they will take a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. Back in a moment here on the Erie News Now Game of the Week.
At Orthopedic Associates of Meadville, our growing team of surgeons utilize cutting-edge, patient-centered procedures and treatments to get you active and healthy again. From high-quality personalized care to state-of-the-art injury treatment and prevention, the choice has been clear for over 50 years. The largest, most skillful team of orthopedic specialists in Crawford County, delivering orthopedic care that you and your family depend on. Right here, close to home.
We tackle some of Erie's toughest and dirtiest jobs, so you don't have to. We're Haul Pros, Erie's 5-star rated junk removal service. From estate cleanouts to hoarding situations, our team delivers results you can see the same day. Families and business owners trust us because we show up prepared, handle every detail, and leave nothing behind but relief. Call today and mention you saw us on TV for $50 off your next cleanout. Results first, that's our promise.
Welcome back to the Erie News Now Game of the Week from Veterans Memorial Stadium. A 40-6 lead as the Royals' Shaheed Smith takes it right side here on the opening possession for the Royals. From the 24, he works his way out to about the 32. So a pickup of 8 for Smith to open the second half on offense.
Smith, such a shifty running back, remarkable athletic moves to try to track him down. He can just dance around and get something out of nothing. Good job there.
So that'll set up a 2nd and 2. 32 yards on 10 carries so far for Smith, who's going to take it on the opposite side. He tries the left side. He gets out to about the 36. So that'll be a pickup of 4.
He took a shot up high on that one, right around the helmet area by TJ Ware. Not necessarily a penalty, but didn't feel good. But there we go. And move the sticks, you win a play. That's all you can do at this point.
So 11 carries for 36 yards for Shaheed Smith unofficially throughout this one. As the clock winds, 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter here. First down and 10 for the Royals, 37. And this one going to go to Henry as Henry tries to fight forward for some yards, carries a couple of tacklers out to the 40 into the 41 for a pickup of 4.
All they're really going to run, I don't think, and Henry's a little slow to get up. He got hit by a host of Red Raiders in there. He seems okay, but limping off the field is one of the Erie players. That's Tavion Tenen.
Mike Henry, 5'8", 165 junior. Seeing some action here, and we've seen him on the special teams unit. He did have some action on defense as well, but that'll bring up a 2nd and about 6 for the Royals, the 41-yard line of Erie High. As a flag flies, and that'll be a delay of game of the Royals.
That's at least 3 tonight. Just frustrating from the coaches with their palms up and wondering how that continues to happen.
7th penalty for Erie High. They have 60 yards on the night. And again, boys, it's got to be hard at least to get some continuity here with your 3rd guy taking the snap. As this one, the direct snap goes to Shaid Smith, who works across the 45 and pushes forward to about the 46. As that'll be a pickup of about 9. And works his way from the 37. They're gonna move the chains. We'll give them 10 on the carry.
So this is like 1930s style football, and it works. You know, the direct snap to the tailback and the wing back, and they just run the ball. Just basic football, run right, run left. It works for Erie.
Boy, there's some Erie County old high school football coaches that if they're watching this, they're loving this. And Henry, a great job to stop and reverse course there as he gets out to the 50 where he's marked down. So that'll be a pickup of 3 for Henry on the carry. Bring up 2nd down.
Shaid Smith just got blown up by one of the Red Raiders. I wasn't sure who hit him, but he was a little overmatched physically from one of the linebackers came in, and they really got him good. So I'm glad he got back up after that.
So Erie High marching the ball here on the opening possession of half number 2. 6:07 to play. As things start to cool down a tad here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. John Leidig alongside Jamie Smith here as the receivers split out, but in a tight formation, the clock, and there's another delay of game. You could hear some of the parents calling out the delay of game, the 4th on the Royals here tonight.
And they had some personnel confusion too. One of the players ran onto the field and ran back off, and that was well after they broke the huddle. So a lot of yelling back and forth from the players and coaches, and it's one of those nights for the Erie Royals, a tough assignment and struggling to get the basics right now.
So they'll move back to the Erie High 45-yard line on 2nd down, 13. And this one to Henry, who hands it off, and met by a host of tacklers that time is Shaid Smith.
And Damon McGreer read that play. There was nowhere to go. McGreer, the 5'11", 210 left tackle, just swallowed up everybody on that play.
That'll be a loss of 5 back to the 40. So that'll bring up a 3rd and long as the original line of scrimmage is the 47. They haven't marked at the 40 right now, so that'll bring up 3rd and 17 as we do some live quick math there, Jamie.
That's dangerous.
Especially as communication majors. Nonetheless, the Royals they've been in 3rd and longs a number of times tonight, and they'll try and convert one here.
Another delay of game.
As I don't
Too many players on the field. Yep, they got 12 guys out there. Well, I don't know. Now he's putting the flag back in his pocket.
Yeah, they're going to pick up the flag there. A little bit confusion on the count from the back judge. So we'll reset things with a play clock to 40 and a 3rd and 17 for the Royals. They'll need to get to the 43 of St. Francis. As Shaid Smith takes the handoff, he's going to be dropped back at the original line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Well, you gotta, Shaid Smith runs hard. That's such a tough thing when you're getting beat badly, and you gotta and you've got very large humans ready to hit you again. But he runs so hard, and that's just not easy to do.
No, and especially when they know you're committed to the ground game and they can pin some of their ears back and bring a lot of guys to the box. God, when you're one-dimensional, it's really hard as Erie High is trying to get set here. And I think they're short a couple of guys here.
I think they only have 10.
But they have 3 seconds to snap the ball before a timeout. So Erie High will take a timeout. We will as well. 4:25 to go in quarter number 3. It is a 40-6 lead for St. Francis over here. Erie High. Back in a moment on the Erie News Now Game of the Week.
At Nova Cabinets, Countertops, and Floors, we specialize in cabinets, countertops, and floors that redefine luxury and durability. Imagine opening your cabinets to find organized bliss with every item in its place. Picture preparing meals on stunning granite or quartz countertops that are as resilient as they are beautiful. And let's not forget the floors. We have an extensive range of flooring options to complement any aesthetic. Visit our showroom or call us today. Nova Cabinets, Countertops, and Floors, your partner in creating the home of your dreams.
At the Empty Keg, we believe a good meal feels like home. Family owned and a proud part of Edinboro's history, our doors have always been open to neighbors, friends, and newcomers alike. Our homestyle menu brings people together with hearty daily specials made to be shared. From seasonal beers and monthly tap features to happy hour specials after work, there's always something to raise a glass to. Whether it's a family dinner, a night out with friends, or just a place to unwind, the Empty Keg is where everyone belongs. The Empty Keg, where Edinboro comes together.
We welcome you back to the Erie News Now Game of the Week. Natavion Tennant getting set to punt this one away as he bobbles the snap, able to get it off though, and a pretty good one at that. As that time signaling for a fair catch back at the 19-yard line was Aiden Hopwood. Oh, that was a pretty good boot there from Natavion Tennant, maybe his best of the night.
Yeah, 40 yards in the air. Good job. And that's the worst starting spot for St. Francis so far tonight.
Back at the 19 with I believe that's 4:18. Yeah, 4:18 to go here in quarter number 3. Erie High has punted on 6 of its 7 possessions here tonight. So Trent Muddles back out to lead the offense here for St. Francis. 3 passing touchdowns tonight to Mason Anderson, but the handoff here is going to go to Hardy. Larry Hardy III continues to push the pile from the 19 all the way out to the 30 for the pickup of 11.
Good job by the Erie defense swarming to the ball. Nijon Young with the first player there. Unfortunately, carries the pile past the first down marker.
Beg your pardon, that was Clark on the carry. So he had 11, and it'll be Clark again, this time working all the way out and continuing to push the pile out to the 38, so he picks up 8 more.
And Tennant back in the game, and Tennant shoves one of the players, and he's going to get a 15-yard personal foul, and that is just incredibly undisciplined. I don't know what happened to lead to that. He takes his helmet off, too, and he's out of the game at least temporarily. I'm not sure why you do that, but who knows what happened in that pile before then.
So the 3rd personal foul penalty against Erie High tonight. Both sides have racked up a couple of those infractions, as that'll march things out across midfield and into Royals territory at the 48-yard line. As it's 3:43 to go here in quarter number 3. Again, don't go anywhere once this one goes finals, as we'll have the Valerio's Restaurant and Pizzeria post-game show where we'll hand out the player of the game from tonight's contest. As it's Clark Jr. trying the left side on the delayed handoff. He works his way down to the 45 for a pickup of 2.
And Tennant, when he came out of the game, he's taken all of the tape off of his shoes and his tape off his arms, and it looks like, I don't know, it looks like he's done. He just took all the tape off his uniform, so I don't know what's going on there.
2nd down and 8. Out of the shotgun is Buttles. It's Clark trying the left side again. Has some room to run, picking up some blockers and forcing his way down inside the 40. Down to around the 37-yard line. And I think we have a stoppage in play for an injured Royal. Pickup of 8 on the run. So we'll bring it back here. We'll keep it down on the field for this one as St. Francis will meet. As you bring you here, John Leidick alongside Jamie Murphy up here in the broadcast booth. Jamie, 40-6 here, and Clark getting the ability. And this is something that not just Erie, Cathedral Prep saw this run game, and you can see why it's so successful. They do a great job of getting a push, and it's the yards after that initial contact that the St. Francis team continues to grind away.
Yeah, these St. Francis running backs have just a collegiate level look, a next level look to them, where they're not just running through the hole. They can see the openings and they shift their weight that you see at the higher levels. That's hard to contend with for any high school team. That's why they, we talked before, they put up over 300 yards on the prep defense, who has had trouble stopping the run this year, but they're averaging 230 yards a game, and they're just running at will tonight over Erie.
Medical staff still tending to an injured Royal. It is Henry, Mike Henry, being tended to near the St. Francis sideline. He's now up on his feet. Not putting much weight on his right leg right now, so he's being escorted by a couple of coaches as he's unable to put much pressure on that right leg and in severe distress here. But good to see him at least up as he's assisted over to the Erie High sideline. So it will be a 1st and 10 for St. Francis when we resume play right around the Erie High 37-yard line.
And Erie's really, again, taking another with Tennant taking that penalty and taking himself apparently out of the game. I don't know if it was a coach's decision, but it looks like he's not playing. And upset about something that had happened and cost his team 15 yards, and we've seen that on both sides a lot tonight.
So we'll resume play here. 1st and 10 for St. Francis, leading this one 40-6 as the clock winds, under 3 to play in quarter number 3. And Buttles with a handoff. This one going to go up the middle and spinning down to around the 32-yard line for a pickup of 5 there that time.
So per the PIAA rules, the mercy rule where the clock runs is a 35-point differential. So we're 34 right now, and I always had kind of a mixed opinion about that mercy rule because the backups don't get as much time to get in there. I get it, but you know you like to see some of the younger kids get in and get some playing time.
As it's Hardy, the third in. He moves inside the 30 down to the 27. That'll be a pickup of 5 more and a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, and it looks like, at least so far in this third quarter, St. Francis has not gone to the air at all and just kind of trying to run out this clock, run it up the middle, and just try to get out of here with no injuries. Tennant is coming back into the game.
So Tennant back in. He'll go along the defensive line here, trying to provide some pressure for the Royal defenses. Trent Buttles hands it off to Hardy, who goes up the middle as he works down to around the 18. That'll be a pickup of 9 on the run. His 3rd carry of the night for the senior running back and middle linebacker. As we're ticked towards 60 seconds to go in quarter number 3. It'll be a 2nd and 1 for St. Francis. And the handoff this time going to go to the left side, still working, still weaving, and pushing towards the end zone. And it is a touchdown as a 18-yard touchdown run. That time, Nick Williams finding the end zone for St. Francis.
So they go conservative on that drive, run on every play, and now we have reached that mercy rule we had talked about. But you know the offensive line so deep, even the backup running backs are elite. This team is just so strong. There's just not much. And Erie's tired too. I mean, obviously the defense has been out there for a while.
So Janus will attempt the point after here. That would make it a 47-6 lead, but flags fly. So this will stop the clock as it was continuing to wind with 4 seconds left in the quarter. And the penalty and offsides on Erie High. So appears St. Francis will just reset and retry on the point after attempt. Janus draw back out here on setting things up. As the snap goes, the hold is down. Erie High with some pressure there as that one is blocked. And the play blown dead. Nonetheless, the score at the end of 3 quarters. St. Francis out of Hamburg, New York, 46. Erie High, 6. We will be back with quarter number 4 here on the Erie News Now Game of the Week.
At Orthopedic Associates of Meadville, our growing team of surgeons utilize cutting-edge, patient-centered procedures and treatments to get you active and healthy again. From high-quality personalized care to state-of-the-art injury treatment and prevention, the choice has been clear for over 50 years. The largest, most skillful team of orthopedic specialists in Crawford County, delivering orthopedic care that you and your family depend on, right here, close to home.
The fall leaves are beautiful until they clog your gutters. With Leon Construction's gutter protection, say goodbye to the messy cleanups and stay off your ladder for good. Our expertly installed systems keep debris out and water flowing, protecting your home all season long. Get ready for fall and call today or visit us at leoncep.com and never clean your gutters again. Leon Construction, the king of quality.
Welcome you back to the Erie News Now Game of the Week as it's a 46-6 lead for St. Francis over here at Erie High to begin quarter number 4 again. The clock will not stop except for penalties and scoring plays as the mercy rule at 35 per the PIAA. I want to thank the Erie School District for allowing us to broadcast this game here tonight from Veterans Memorial Stadium and bring it to you wherever you may be watching here tonight. Shaheed Smith will head back to receive. Also back with him, Jordan Selby, as they await the Jacob Janus kickoff here. As sent up, and it'll be Smith taking it at his own 11. Works across the 20, tries to set things up, but he is met quickly, tries to cut back, still working around the 25, falls forward to the 26-yard line, and Erie High will begin its latest possession there.
So Erie doesn't have a very deep roster, but we will see some of the same players in there, but a couple more backups there to try to get some experience. Davari Mims was hurt on that extra point try. I'm not certain, but I think the football hit him in the neck when he came in to block it. He's back out there though. He looked to be in a lot of pain at the end of the extra point, but he's right back out there, which is good.
And Shaheed Smith continues in this one. And he'll line up back there for the Royals alongside Rasheed Anderson. So the clock begins to wind here in quarter number 4.
Get another delay of game.
And that'll be a delay of the game once again as the Royals penalties continue to pile up here.
I think that's 5.
11th penalty on the Royals, and that is 5. 90 penalty yards unofficially here tonight for Erie High on 11 penalties. 1st and 15 now. As Erie High sets up, motion, and that's going to be an illegal procedure.
Yeah, so they were trying to deceive the defense with 2 players calling for the ball. but they both moved at the same time before the ball came there. So not a good start.
If you're a baseball fan, a big one tonight coming your way from Seattle on the other side of the coast. Seattle and the Detroit Tigers. Many Erie Seawolves playing in that one here tonight. Decisive Game 5 to join the Toronto Blue Jays in the American League Championship Series. That will begin Sunday evening, 8:08 first pitch. As the handoff from Jack Masson goes to Shaid Smith, still spinning away as he works back out to the 20.
We got another Erie player down, and
looks like he might be cramping. He's grabbing that back calf. So he picks up 4 there to Smith on the run.
Amir Hansbrough, I believe, is the player that's down. He was in a wrestling match over there with one of the St. Francis players, and so hopefully it's just a cramp.
And again, we have the Valerio's Restaurant and Pizzeria postgame show coming your way here at the conclusion of this fourth quarter, where we will hand out our player of the game and take a look at the scores from around the region, as most games probably getting ready for half number 2, as this one with an early start at 6 o'clock here tonight from Veterans Memorial Stadium. We'll recap those, give you some statistics as well, and wrap things up and preview our game next week, as we will head back to Edinburgh for General McLean Cathedral Prep. One of those, they weren't the Erie County rivalries, but one that under the time of Jim Wells and Mike Mishler developed into a pretty good rivalry from what I understand prior to my time coming up here. Some good contests between the two schools.
Yeah, back in the way back, they did not play one another hardly at all. That Prep stayed in what was called the Metro League, and then played their customary Ohio and New York power schools. And McLean didn't have really time to get outside of the ECL because there were 10, 11 teams in the ECL. So when they started playing, it was really interesting because it was like kind of when you never know what would happen if those two teams match up. So 2 good football programs. Edinburgh having its homecoming this weekend for Penn West. Edinburgh, I'm an Edinburgh alum myself.
So always a fun time to go down there and see many of the alumni return.
I don't go back though. I just always forget. So I loved Edinburgh. I loved the town. I absolutely loved every second of it, but just never seem to go back because, well, I'm old and people like me don't usually go back for homecoming. So
you don't want those reminders, huh?
Yeah, I'm reminded a lot.
All right, second down for Erie High as they work for the second and 16. As that time, Shaid Smith falling forward for a yard. That'll bring up a 3rd and 15.
And now Mousson is limping off the field. He's been banged up all night, trying to gut it out. He's coming over to get the play, actually, which is unfortunate. He had a hobble 15 yards over just to get the play in while the play clock hasn't started yet. So it looks like they're going to have time to get this play in.
So Erie High on 3rd down will try to reset this one here. See if they can pick up a fresh set of downs here, trailing 46-6. And the pitch is just going to go to Smith, who tries the right side. He gets to about the 24-yard line before he's pushed back, and that'll bring up the 4th down.
Well, you mentioned baseball. In the last game we did, I was very confident in my World Series pick of the Philadelphia Phillies, but now I'm not so confident. I do not think that they're going to win it.
Maybe next year.
I'm not a Phillies fan. I just thought they were the best team, and, well, that was that. So, but so it shows you what I know. I don't think I've ever predicted any sport ever. It's so difficult. But I'm surprised. Surprised, not surprised. Dodgers are just loaded. I don't know how they lost any games this year. But it's unfortunate how it ended. I feel bad for Phillies fans. I feel bad for Ryan Kerkering. He's going through probably torture right now.
Tavion Tennant gets this punt away. It's going to drop right around the 49 and take a favorable bounce and come to a stop at the 41. We're going to take a quick timeout. Back here in a moment on the Erie News Now Game of the Week. 8:42 to go.
At the Empty Keg, we believe a good meal feels like home. Family owned and a proud part of Edinboro's history, our doors have always been open to neighbors, friends, and newcomers alike. Our homestyle menu brings people together with hearty daily specials made to be shared. From seasonal beers and monthly tap features to happy hour specials after work, there's always something to raise a glass to. Whether it's a family dinner, a night out with friends, or just a place to unwind, the Empty Keg is where everyone belongs. The Empty Keg, where Edinboro comes together.
We tackle some of Erie's toughest and dirtiest jobs, so you don't have to. We're Haul Pros, Erie's 5-star rated junk removal service. From estate cleanouts to hoarding situations, our team delivers results you can see the same day. Families and business owners trust us because we show up prepared, handle every detail, and leave nothing behind but relief. Call today and mention you saw us on TV for $50 off your next cleanout. Results first, that's our promise.
This begins its possession with a carry by Nick Williams as he works out to the 46 for a pickup of 5.
So we see St. Francis going to their backups. Adlin Gilmore with a nice tackle there for the Royals. So starters get a rest. Another strong effort for the Red Raiders, keeping up their per game point average, exceeding it.
And now in at quarterback for St. Francis is Bray Babbage, as he gives the handoff and going up the middle and still working and pulling defenders with him. That one started at the 46. He gets all the way down to the 37. So that's a pickup of 17. If that name sounds familiar, it is indeed the son of Buffalo Bills defensive coordinator Bobby Babbage, the sophomore quarterback, 6'1", 160.
So he's a very tall and skinny, so he develops into his height. He's going to have that size that you're just born with, to have that stature of a quarterback.
And the handoff here is Williams spun around but stays on his feet and then tries to pick up blockers, tries to reverse field, and he's going to be dropped for a loss of about 4 on that play. Just nowhere to go. Good job by the Erie High defense to get the pressure.
Yeah, good job. Good effort again. I know I've said it a bunch of times. It's hard to play when you're losing by 40. But a good effort there again by Adlin Gilmore, who came in first. It was the first one to disrupt that play.
6:40 and counting here in the final quarter of play, as St. Francis very content to wind this one down. It looks like they may take a timeout as play clock now under 10. That's 2 and 1. And whistles blow. And St. Francis is content with the delay of game penalty.
So the clock winds after this. I wonder if they just, I don't think they would do it, but just keep doing a delay a game. No, I guess not. I don't know why they did that.
Bring up a 2nd and 11. Excuse me. That'd be 2nd and 19. As Natavion Tena with a tackle there. And just back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of 1 that time for Williams.
Good play by Tenen. He's been emotional in this one. Came off the field last time after taking a 15-yard penalty. Still giving 100% out there. He came from his far side to make that tackle, so good effort by Tenen.
So 5:30 and counting, and a 3rd and very long. St. Francis would have to get to the Erie High 27 as Babbage back to pass, avoids 1 would-be tackler, but the Erie defense in great pursuit as Babbage with a loss of 1 on that one and a sack, the 2nd of the night for the Royals.
Gilmore again, he's having a good series here, and again, it's just about trying to win a series. You know, yes, this is the 2nd team for St. Francis, but you know, the Erie High players, you just got to keep battling. That's all you got to do, win that play, and they've done a good job here on defense.
So a 4th and forever. This one, it appears that St. Francis content of just taking their time here on 4th down. Going to give it a try here with the sophomore quarterback in. He's going to go back to pass. More pressure, just heaves one up. And he's able to almost complete it. Oh, my. As that time, throwing it down, but the receiver can't bring it in there, so that'll be a turnover on downs. We'll step aside for our final timeout, come back for the conclusion of the final 4:24 from Veterans Memorial Stadium.
The holidays are upon us, and when your friends party, they spill their drinks. When they spill their drinks, it ruins your floors, and ruined floors make you mad.
What's his problem?
This year, be ready with durable waterproof planks from Erie Floors, with wear layers that'll withstand your fiendish visitors and their dreadful spills. Just make sure you come and see us before your guests arrive, because you never know what you'll spill this holiday season. Erie Floors, our world is under your feet.
Craving authentic Italian flavors? Step into Valerio's Italian Restaurant and Pizzeria. Our food is made with the freshest ingredients where every bite is an escape to Italy. From fresh and delicious pizzas to calzones, wings, soups, and many other appetizers. Not only can you get our delicious food in our 3 locations, we also offer catering services. From business luncheons to weddings, we have your catering needs covered. So bring the whole family or make it a date night. It'll be an experience you won't forget.
Valerio's, fresh from Italy to you.
Welcome back. Final 3:18 to go. We'll have the Valerio's Restaurant and Pizzeria post-game show coming up here in just a couple of minutes, where we'll hand out our player of the game for this one. Erie High facing a 2nd and 9, nearing midfield at the 45. It's Masson in at quarterback. He'll hand off to Shaid Smith, who continues to run tough, and he has room to run. He crosses the 50. He may go for the score here. Look at him tough it out here as he goes and is tackled down around the 7-yard line. As that time, pickup of 43 and 6. Give him almost 50 yards for the 49 tote for Shaid Smith.
And some fierce blocking, especially on this right side. Jordan Selby in a battle with his defender, wrestling each other to the ground the last 2 plays. So there's a lot of emotion out there still, a lot of anger and frustration on the Erie side.
They give him 51 on the play, so 100 as that time a big hit. It was Fleming's.
Luke Fleischman, I believe it was?
Yes.
Fleischman nearly clothesline.
That was Selby that took the big hit.
Fleischman led the team with 4 tackles last week, and that was a brutal hit. Again, not a penalty, just a tough hit.
So, Erie High with Masson and 1:27 and counting here. Masson will look to pass, but he's just going to tuck it and try to run. Gets to the near sidelines before he's escorted out for a loss on the play.
Yeah, he had Jordan Selby open on a quick out to the left. That's a long throw, so maybe he didn't feel comfortable with the speed of the linebackers there, but he did have him.
60 seconds to go here. St. Francis will improve to 5-1 on the year. And they'll get set for a game upcoming next week, as they will head to Bishop, Timon, St. Jude for a 6:30 kick on the road again next week. 40 seconds to go in this one. This will likely be the final play here tonight, as Masson just tosses it up towards the end zone. It falls short and incomplete. Has 30 seconds to go. That'll bring up 4th down. And we'll see if Coach Henderson is just content to let this clock run out here tonight.
It looks like they want to try to get one more play in here, try to get into the end zone, finish on a good note. They got one guy uncovered. No, they covered him up now, but
10 seconds and counting for Masson as the whistle blows. And an offside is the early indication. Again, the Valerio's Restaurant and Pizzeria post-game show coming up here in just a moment. We'll hand out our player of the game here tonight. recap this one, give you a quick look around the scoreboard, and close up shop, preview next week's game. As Masson, the handoff to Shaheed Smith, bounces it, still trying to dive. He's going to fall short, and that will end the game here tonight. From Veterans Memorial Stadium, St. Francis with its 5th victory of the year as they take this one over the Erie High Royals by a score of 46-6. The two teams will meet at the 50-yard line here to shake hands to wrap things up here on a Week 8 performance between these two squads, cross-state matchup here between New York and Pennsylvania. We will have the Valerio's Restaurant and Pizzeria postgame show coming up next. Stay with us here on the Erie News Now Game of the Week.
At 10-2 Credit Union, we tend to the stress of managing multiple debts with simple debt consolidation. We help you tend to lower payments, fewer worries, and more peace of mind. 10 to your finances, 10 to your life, 10 to debt done right. Debt consolidation made simple. 10-2 Credit Union.
Climbing ladders to clean your gutters? That's risky business. Leon Construction's gutter protection keeps leaves and debris out so you never have to climb a ladder again. Our lifetime solutions prevent clogs and protect your home from water damage. Stay safe this fall season with Leon Construction. Call today or visit us at leoncep.com and never clean your gutters again. Leon Construction, the king of quality.
Meet Bree. Bree tracks every dollar she spends, but she doesn't spend a lot of time doing it. Bree uses Marquette's personal financial management tool. It's fast, easy, accurate. Just ask her what she spends on coffee, on streaming services, or doggy daycare. Bree's spending is really looking good, just like her savings account. Be empowered. Marquette Savings Bank.
Plastech is a global manufacturing company rooted right here in Erie, Pennsylvania, producing parts that keep the world moving forward by people from right here in our community. A sustainable, innovative, and driven family business, all of our facilities are well equipped with a variety of technology, machinery, knowledge, skill, and talent to design, build, manufacture. Plastech is proud to call this place home.
At 10-2 Credit Union, we tend to make becoming a member easy. Walk in, sign up, and start saving. We tend to your needs with lower rates, fewer fees, and personalized service. 10 to joining, 10 to thriving, 10 to enjoying the benefits today. Easy to join, built for you. 10-2 Credit Union.
The postgame show and player of the game are brought to you by Valerio's Italian Restaurant. Fresh from Italy to you.
We welcome you into the Valerio's Restaurant and Pizzeria postgame show. John Leidick alongside Jamie Murphy as the final score here tonight, a 46-6 victory for St. Francis out of Hamburg, New York over Erie High. Jamie, boy, we talked about the power coming in that St. Francis was, and they were just so multidimensional in this one. But taking a positive, Erie High never gave up in this one. They continued to fight to the very end.
Yeah, just overmatched. St. Francis, a powerhouse in New York and a powerhouse in Buffalo with so many tools, so many weapons, Division I athletes. The Erie High team is banged up. I would say the negative thing they took, obviously delay game penalties were a killer and personal fouls, undisciplined. But, we saw that some of that last drive of the players still giving 100% and knowing that, they're just overmatched and still playing hard. I mean, that's all you can do, really. It's tough to coach when the players, as a human beings, it's tough to stay in the game that way. So there were some bright spots for Erie, but otherwise this was a tough matchup for them.
Certainly was. We will name our player of the game coming from the Erie High side here tonight. Just taking a look at some scores from out of town here tonight at a half. Farrell 46-0 over Sharpsville. Wilmington over Mercer 28-0, 7-7 between Reynolds and Lucas. Ohio 12-10, Maplewood leading Cambridge Springs at the half. Sagertown trailing Greenville 36-0, 28-7. Eisenhower over Franklin. Mercier's Prep up 34-0 over Iroquois at the half. 21-14, Seneca over Northwestern at half. Sharon leading Conneaut 20-7 at the half. Meanwhile, 8-6, Slippery Rock over Titusville. Corey in front, 14-3 over Fairview in the third quarter. as Fort LaBeouf leads Harbor Creek at the half 21-17. General McLean 35-6 lead down at Bender Field in Meadville, and Oil City 48-7 lead over Warren. Cathedral Prep trails 19-13 at the half to Benedictine out of Ohio, and McDowell down 14-6 to Austintown Fitch. Again, Erie Times News scoreboard page bringing you those scores here tonight. All right, we will take our final timeout here of the evening, and we will return to name our Valerio's Restaurant and Pizzeria player of the game and try to bring you some stats as well here, as again the final score tonight 46-6. St. Francis back in a moment on the Erie News Now Game of the Week.
Friday nights in our community mean one thing: high school football. And just like your hometown team, McMillan's Towing is always ready when you need us most. From breakdowns and accidents to roadside emergencies, McMillan's Towing has you covered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. McMillan's Towing, proud to support our student athletes and the entire community this season. McMillan's Towing, reliable, professional, always here when you need us. Call 814-897-8989.
The holidays are upon us, and when your friends party, they spill their drinks. When they spill their drinks, it ruins your floors, and ruined floors make you mad.
What's his problem?
This year, be ready with durable waterproof planks from Erie Floors, with wear layers that'll withstand your fiendish visitors and their dreadful spills. Just make sure you come and see us before your guests arrive, because you never know what you'll spill this holiday season. Erie Floors, our world is under your feet.
Plastech is a global manufacturing company rooted right here in Erie, Pennsylvania, producing parts that keep the world moving forward by people from right here in our community. A sustainable, innovative, and driven family business, all of our facilities are well equipped with a variety of technology, machinery, knowledge, skill, and talent. Design, build, manufacture. Plastech is proud to call this place home.
Craving something fresh, delicious, and locally sourced? At Give a Crepe La Creperie, we serve up savory and sweet crepes made with the best ingredients and crafted with care. And yes, we've got 100% gluten-free and vegan options too. Join us at our location in the heart of Little Italy. Whether you're in the mood for a quick bite or a leisurely meal, we've got you covered with cozy indoor seating, al fresco dining, and easy carry-out options. Come experience flavors that are fresh, vibrant, and made with care. It's easy to give a crepe about Erie.
Erie News Now and Valerio's Italian Restaurant player of the game.
We welcome you back to Valerio's Italian Restaurant and Pizzeria post-game show. It is time for our player of the game here tonight, and a number of worthy candidates here this evening, but boy, Shaheed Smith for Erie High doing it in a bunch of facets here tonight. I believe in that last run would have put him over 100 yards rushing tonight. He started as a running back, did kick returns, played great defense. Jamie, he did it all tonight here to try to show the fight that Erie High was trying to display despite what was on the scoreboard.
Yeah, a good effort by him, plus was forced into essentially a quarterback role when both quarterbacks went down, running what we'll call the Wildcat as well. And they started to actually move the ball a little bit when they started running right to left, and he got a majority of the carries. So statistically kind of ugly tonight for Erie, but Smith stood out and is an easy choice on their side for a player of the game.
So congratulations to Shaheed Smith, our player of the game here tonight. You also see him on tonight's Football Friday broadcast coming up at 11:15. Valerio's Italian Restaurant and Pizzeria, fresh from Italy to you with 3 locations: East 38th Street, West 32nd, or at Powell Avenue in Mill Creek. For these two squads, St. Francis will return back to play in New York. Coming up next week, they'll face Bishop Timon St. Jude at 6:30 next week. Meanwhile, Erie High will hit the road to Brush, Ohio for a 7 o'clock kick next week. And for us, we will head down to Edinboro next week for General McLean and Cathedral Prep. Early thoughts on that matchup?
It's always interesting when you get the county versus a city school. A prep He's got to figure out a way to stop the run. We saw them really struggle this season. It appears that they're having their way tonight, but McLean is a very, very good team. We got a chance to see them. So if Prep can fix some things on their run defense, it'll be a great game. I hope it's a great game.
Awesome stuff. For so many people here tonight, being a big part of our broadcast as well, Connor Haas, Chris Peterson, Jason Klocko, Sean Barta, big parts of making sure this broadcast gets to you each and every night to enjoy from wherever you're watching. For my broadcast partner, Jamie Murphy, I'm John Laddick saying so long here from Veterans Memorial Stadium. The final score here tonight, St. Francis 46, Erie High 6. We will meet you again for Week 9 of the high school football season, the penultimate one of the regular season, next week from Edinburgh, Pennsylvania for General McLean and Cathedral Prep. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Meet Bobby. Bobby banks at Marquette, but he's never stepped foot in a bank. Bobby opened his account online. He does everything online. Scanning a receipt? He does it while fighting an alien invasion. Tracking his budget? He does it storming the castle. Checking rewards points? He does it slaying dragons. He can do it all online. That's Bobby, and that's why he's with Marquette. Be like Bobby. Be empowered at Marquette Savings Bank.
Plastech is a global manufacturing company rooted right here in Erie, Pennsylvania, producing parts that keep the world moving forward by people from right here in our community. A sustainable, innovative, and driven family business, all of our facilities are well equipped with a variety of technology, machinery, knowledge, skill, and talent to design, build, manufacture. Plastech is proud to call this place home.
The holidays are upon us, and when your friends party, they spill their drinks. When they spill their drinks, it ruins your floors, and ruined floors make you mad.
What's his problem?
This year, be ready with durable waterproof planks from Erie Floors, with wear layers that'll withstand your fiendish visitors and their dreadful spills. Just make sure you come and see us before your guests arrive, because you never know what you'll spill this holiday season. Erie Floors, our world is under your feet.
News Now. From Erie News Now, you're watching First at 4.
Hello everyone, I'm Jamison Hickson. Amanda Post has the day off. Thanks for joining us here on First at 4. We begin with our Blue Cow.
Ices the deep back, gets the pitch, goes left, cuts it up into the seam, and he is close to another first down.
That's Heiss off the left side, picks up 9 on the first down, so it's a second and 1.
And he's a yard shy.
Of the Dragons.
And they are just running the clock here. It's got to be tiring, too, when you're playing defense and the defense is out there most of the ball game.
Yeah.
They have controlled the time, they've controlled the tempo, they've controlled the football, they've controlled the whole game. And they're going to go, this time, a fake, and Finley's going to release to his tight end, and it is complete. And still on his feet, and finally taken down by Orth.
Kind of shades of Ben Koyak there, TJ, because he was a big tight end here in Oil City.
Yeah.
Kind of shades of him right there.
And Clark with about a 20-yard pickup there.
Yep.
Sets up another Oiler. First down.
So that's the first they've thrown to the tight end.
Yeah. So coming up, I'll be telling you what else is going on in Dragon Athletics for this upcoming week as soon as we find another good break to throw some of these in.
Okay. You know that it's Clark Finley, and I wonder if he's cousin or brother to the QB.
Yeah.
Probably brother. And Heiss goes up the middle and gets some tough yardage inside the 5.
Well, I know there is another Knox on the Oil City roster. I think that might be Ethan's brother.
Could be. Oh, there he is. Elijah Knox, 11.
Yep, he's 11th grader. So coming up this week in Dragon Athletics, it's girls soccer will be playing Bradford 4 o'clock on Monday, and girls football will take on Clarion. Should be a very good match. 7:15 on Monday.
And Nick, we have a penalty.
It was a false start.
Moves them back 5. First and 15. They can get a first down without scoring. Finley hands the ball to Heiss. Heiss off tackle. Nice cutback. He is in the end zone. Oh boy, the Dragons were giving chase, and he cut against the grain. Orth had a shot at him, couldn't bring him down, and he got in. 54-7, and the siren goes off. I believe they used to have flashing lights and stuff accompanying every score, but they're not doing it this year.
That's okay.
Yeah, that got old fast for us.
The siren gets old pretty fast, too.
Stephen Heiss has 178 yards, 3 touchdowns on the evening. Nice day of work at the office for him.
And things look a little out of sync there, but the kick is good. I don't see any flags, so the extra point counts, making the score Oil City 55 and the Dragons 7.
We'd like to thank our sponsors like A&B Heating to bring you Warren Football. A&B Heating, serving your heating, cooling, and plumbing needs since 1953.
Game on! And the weekly specials are on too at Warren Surefine, the area's only locally owned supermarket where you find the low prices you want and the friendly service you love come together. For all of your game day needs and your family grocery shopping needs too, come on over to Warren Surefine, where low prices and local friendly service are both winners. Warren Surefine, your hometown supermarket.
Love their cake donuts.
They got a lot of good stuff there.
They do. So I just confirmed our suspicions. The Finleys are both our brothers, and Elijah and Ethan Knox are brothers.
Excellent work, Dave.
Yeah.
You get the info.
Yeah, my predicting days are over, so I might as well get info days.
George Allen Summerall.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. Okay, Dragons field the kickoff, and it is Corbett. Corbett thrown out of bounds, and there's a flag. That was a little late. He might have stepped on the white before the contact. And that'll add some yardage to the return for sure.
33-yard line.
A little conference going out, and it is a hold against Warren.
Well, that doesn't help any. I thought maybe they were going to get him with a late hit out of bounds, but it's a holding call.
As a hold against the Dragons. That's not from 22-yard line. That's where they will start their drive here in the third quarter.
Well, the Dragons push back to their 13. Or 23, actually. And Oil City, very solid, as John Robbins mentioned at halftime, both the offensive and defensive line. And Dragons have another quarterback in there, and that is number 21, and he only threw a nice pass out there to Clemente. It was incomplete, but this is Grant May.
Who's that?
Grant May, number 21.
Okay.
At quarterback for Warren. See what he can do. As I would, well, you just don't know. I mean, Parker Kaiser may be done for the night, but maybe he's just out for a series. We don't know.
Like we said, TJ, one thing that's noticeably stand out is they just ditched the running game altogether.
Actually, we have completed some passes and moved the football a little bit with that. We have not, as you said, Dave, mixed it up any with the run either, though. We're not running the ball very much, and when we do, we're not running it very well. And so this is intended,
picked off.
That was intended for Blum, and it was picked off, and that's a pick six. Winston, the defensive back, returns it for a TD.
The guy that just scored the touchdown.
That's Heist's second touchdown and a half. Fourth of
Wow.
the game.
Stephen Heist.
Heist.
Yeah.
Number 12. And Oil City now has over 60.
See, that's one thing, like we were talking, TJ. Even if the run's not working for you, it's eating up clock, well, even though the clock's running, but you're not going to throw an interception and return it for a touchdown. You're going to keep the ball, hopefully, in your own hands.
Well, Grant May, that he's brand new. That's going to happen. I hope he doesn't get unsettled because of that.
Blocked.
His third blocked extra point tonight.
And the Dragons, that's good.
Yeah.
They've excelled at that. So with 6:35 remaining in the third, the score is Oil City 61 and Warren 7.
So you expect to see, if you haven't seen him yet, probably Oil City's second team coming in and get some reps and show the coach what they can do. And like we were saying, next week is Jordan Lawrence and the Meadville Bulldogs coming into the old ball yard at War Memorial Field.
Final home game of the season.
Yep, then we're off to Northeast for the final game of the season. Then we have a month off, and then Warren basketball takes to the airwaves. The girls and the boys. Should be an exciting year for Warren basketball.
Yeah, be here before we know it.
Yeah.
All right, Oilers will kick off. And the Dragons have Corbett and Clemente. And Clemente broke one for a score earlier tonight, fulfilling David's prophecy. This one's going to go to Corbett as Corbett 30, 35, and down at the 36-yard line. So Aiden Corbett with a nice return will set the Dragons up.
And that's when the Dragons will start their second offensive possession of the second half.
Looks like Parker Kaiser might be back. Yep.
So Kaiser back at QB.
Might be. Nope. Here comes May back. I'm sorry. I misread the numbers.
Grant May, number
Grant
21.
May back at quarterback.
Freshman. And he's got the pink socks tonight.
Yep.
And they'll go power I. They might just run the ball here, Dave.
Maybe. Hope so. Keep it on the ground.
And they do. And it's Corbett. Corbett is driven back. He met the surge at the line of scrimmage, and there were 4 big Oil City linemen that grabbed a hold of him and threw him back.
57, Carson Foster and Mr. Thunder Oilers.
Second down. They'll give him his progress to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
They're just getting no penetration on the run. It's like it's not. It's
well, we haven't been able to move them very well. And again, we've mentioned this time and again, but this is a program that highly emphasizes weight training in the off season, and it shows. I mean, these linemen are very strong. They're very quick. They stay low. Their technique is good. You stay low to the ground, it's going to be hard for anybody to move you out of the way.